And we out. Salute, fam. Lil Rock, salute. YG Nice, salute. What's good with it, fam? YouTube real quick. I put the link in the chat. Y'all gonna jump on. Salute, bro.
Going down, salute. Oh, can you hear me?
Okay, now I can. Salute, what's good?
Salute. Going down.
Chill it.
Chop it up about boxing a little bit.
Yes, sir.
What's up to the people in the chat? YG.
I think he went out. In the middle of your sentence. Miss Lex, salute, sis. Deep Biz, salute, bro.
Salute.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you said YG and then he went out.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck going on. Hopefully my shit tighten up.
Oh, you sound way better now.
Yeah.
Louder, clear. See, I know you got a chance to check out them pay-per-view fights. How was the card?
Hold on real quick. I gotta go change my settings real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Great vibes, raid. Salute, fam. Kindly hit the like. Thanks. Appreciate you, bro. Blessings, my brother. DB said watching these Steelers. Yeah, I got them on the TV too. They're doing their thing right now.
All right, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yep, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, what's up with everybody? Great vibes, DB at OG 619. Dago, what's up with it?
Salute. There you go. What's good with it, bro? Hey, how was that pay-per-view card? Was it cool?
Yeah, man, it was boxing all day and shit this past weekend. Had some pretty good fights. Got a chance to check out some prospects. The Prograis versus the Zapata fight was definitely the highlight though. Man, that was a fucking masterclass. Did you get a chance to watch that shit?
Hell yeah, I did. That shit was close as hell too. I thought the fight was close to Prograis landed that shot.
You thought it was close? I thought Prograis was winning every round except for the first round.
You thought so?
Yeah, I thought he was out there dominating Zapata. Zapata had a decent first round. He caught Rougarou with a little something. But then after that, I thought Rougarou took over. Zapata did land a few good shots every now and then. But I think Prograis took it well, though. He got shook up one time, though. It was late in the fight. He took a left hand. I was like, oh, shit. But you know, he steadied himself and got up in there.
Yeah, I thought he got hurt a couple times too. But he showed the first time. I mean, the last one, he couldn't hold that shit. He had to get up out of there.
Yeah, his face was marked up and shit after the fight too. So, you know, he was taking some blows. But one thing about it though, man, that motherfuckers Zapata was coming off a layoff, and the commentators would not let us forget about that shit. It felt like they were making excuses for him. Like, I know he coming off a layoff, and that ain't a good thing, but the man is here now. So we just got to deal with what we got. We can't sit up here and talk about how the man coming off a layoff the whole fight because that shit was taking credit away from Prograis. You know what I'm saying? But it was a good fight though, man. That's just the only thing I don't be liking about some of the fights. Like David Morrell when he fought your Bosa Newly in his last fight. That dude was coming off a year layoff. And Zapata was coming off like a 17-month layoff or something like that. So to me, that takes away quality from the fights. You know what I'm saying? Because the fighters ain't coming in sharp as they should. Or as they could, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Joseph Brown, salute, bro.
Judge Joe Brown, all right. Big E in the building. What's up, bro? OG.
Ernest Davis, salute, bro.
Gil Cole's in the building. What's going down?
Gil Cole, salute, bro. What's happening?
Fresh off a Buccaneers loss. You know what I'm saying? Went out there and them Brown hung that L up on them, boy.
Yeah, they went to overtime, didn't they?
Yeah, they went to overtime. It was 23-17.
That one-handed grab sealed the deal. Miss Lexley said, do y'all think Regas punches were connecting? Seemed like he was barely punching, but somehow knocked dude down. Yeah, I thought it was a lot of his punches. That's why I said it was close. I thought he was missing, man. He was missing. And what's the name? The Pato was landing good, clean jabs. Looked like he was in control. Then Rodriguez, every time he got touched, he came in and landed some good shots. I just thought it was close, man. Especially the way the motherfucking commentators was talking. But he did his thing though, man. He got the knockout. Got the referee called. The ref called it off. Who's the boss?
For me, that was my favorite Prograis performance. I know he done had like a bunch of good ass knockouts and stuff like that, but for me, like the combination of the offense and the defense with the head movement and shit, then he got the jab working, going to the body a little bit, you know what I'm saying, hitting with the left hand. That was my favorite performance from him, especially considering the type of opponent that he had in front of him, somebody that was dangerous. And it was southpaw on southpaw, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't surprised when they was when Prograis was taking some punches. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying last time, Zepeda got a style where he kind of keep his head up, so he's seeing everything. You know what I'm saying? And he was able to land some punches, but I also thought that was a detriment to him too. You know, because they compromised your defense when you keep your head up and keep your chin up and shit. And I thought he was taking some punches, but yeah, I was very impressed with Prograis, man. Square business.
Let's say I say close, but not dominated.
Yeah, I thought it was a domination. I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Well, it's all good. Everybody got their opinion.
Jay Brown said the same thing. Bruce Goes, salute, fam. What's good with it, bro? Hyphy, salute, bro. What's happening? Social scientists in the building. Salute, bro.
Luke, what's going down?
I would say, well, Juan here. Salute. So the scientist said Progress forgot he had a jab in the first few rounds. And that motherfucker, he was throwing it early. That motherfucker was just coming up short. He had to figure out, he had to get that head off that line and bob his way in there and land that motherfucker. Miss Leclerc said, yes, he was missing. Not clean to me. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So scientist said Progress has very heavy hands. He hurts people with arm punches. Like we said, I had Rigas 10-0 before the stoppage. Jose didn't win uh, that 10th round just because he did a lot better. Joseph Brown said Rigas' left hand and movement controlled the fight.
I think after that 10th round, Zepeda went back to his corner, kind of fist pumping a little bit, like he had went out there and done something. But I was like, nigga, you still got your ass kicked in that round. Like you did better, but you still got your ass whooped in that round, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Hey, salute to my boy Yasa, man, for supplying that link for the group. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ate off that link and checked the fight out, man. Salute to my boy Yasa.
Hey, I see. Oh yeah, shout out to Trey. He came in first place too on Trent Ross. I seen him.
Yeah, man, I'm really pissed off at myself because I should have ran off and dominated that shit. Because I made some dumb picks. I had Nina Hughes over Jamie Mitchell at first, and I changed my pick. And I had Prograis by knockout at first, and I talked myself into a damn decision, even though Zepeda was coming off like a 17-month layoff or some shit. It might have been 16-month layoff, but it was a long layoff, and I took the guy to go the distance. And it's a southpaw on southpaw matchup. That increases the likelihood of a knockout. You know what I'm saying? But that performance from Prograis reminded me of the Terry Flanagan fight a little bit. The difference was instead of fighting against an orthodox fighter, he was fighting against a southpaw. You know what I'm saying? So to open up the lanes a little bit. But yeah, I left feeling very impressed with Prograis.
Yeah. They go say he said Rigas versus Russell is a good fight. Hell yeah, that's a good fight. Gil
Who we
Cole,
say?
Russell.
Oh, you talking about Gary Antoine Russell?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's an outstanding fight. That's another southpaw on southpaw matchup. You know what I'm saying? Shit, both of them deep amateur backgrounds and all that kind of shit. Very aggressive type of styles, man. That's one of the best fights that could be made in boxing. I think Prograis might actually go out there and stop the motherfucker. If I look at Gary Antoine Russell's last fight against Rancis Barthélemy, who is also a southpaw, and he caught Russell with a few punches. If y'all remember, he hit Russell with the left hand and hurt that motherfucker a few times in that fight. I think if he get caught with them punches against Prograis, it could be trouble. And Prograis, I think he got one of the best chins in boxing, man. This dude took some flush left hands from one of the hardest punches in boxing in Zapata, and he ate them hoes. I mean, he did a little stanky leg every now and then, but he got right quickly. Like he was able to recover quickly. So yeah, I think if Prograis catch Gary Antoine Russell, I think he'll fuck him up. But if Gary Antoine Russell catch him, I think Prograis got a better chance of shaking it off.
So he be leaning towards Russell, huh?
Yeah. Well, I'm leaning toward Prograis. I don't know what I just said. I thought I had said it right, but yeah, I'm leaning toward Prograis. Who you're taking that fight?
I probably take Prograis. I think he got the more experience out of the two. He definitely heavy. He got heavy hands, and he also worked to the body. So I probably be leaning toward Prograis.
And Gary Antoine Russell, he can run in there real reckless. You know how that motherfucker fight, man. He trying to get in there and be a bulldog. But he got another bulldog that's off in there with him if he fight Prograis, you know what I'm saying? We'll probably never see that fight, but that would be a great fight.
Gil Cole said, "Y'all think Jermaine Franklin got robbed?" He said, "I think he let White dictate the fight."
Yeah, that's how I felt too. I thought he went out there and silenced the haters a little bit because some people were saying that he don't even belong in a ring with Dillian White. He overmatched and all that kind of shit. I didn't really feel like that, man. The man is a 3.5 on the pedigree scale. But the thing is, he been out the ring for a long time. He had one fight since 2019. He had to take a job working in a factory, working a night shift, 7 to 7, and he gained a bunch of weight. He gained like 40 pounds and came in at 277 in his last fight. So for this fight right here, he lost 20 pounds. He came in at 257. But I still thought this fight was a little bit too early for the motherfucker. Like you were just working in a factory full time, not in the gym or none of that shit, eating and gaining weight, and then one fight you in there with Dillian White. I just thought it was a little too early, but I thought he put on a pretty good performance though. If he would have fought this man back in 2019, I think he would have beat him. He had faster hands, working off the jab and shit like that. But I thought a lot of his work was in retaliation. I think about it like this. Like, let's say you got a guy and he jump on the dude and hit him with a he hit him with a 2-punch combination, two nice shots. And then let's say the guy that got hit, he retaliate with a nice 3-punch combination. Some people will give the advantage to the guy that landed the 3 punches, but I give it to the guy that landed the 2 punches because he initiated the shit. The other guy is throwing out a retaliation. So I thought that some of the best work from Franklin was out of retaliation instead of him initiating the shit. So I would give a slight edge to Dillian White in them situations. You know what I'm saying? It was a very close fight. I thought it could have went either way. I ain't mad at nobody's opinion. But I thought it could have been a draw or Dillian White with a slight edge.
Hypey, what's good? What to do, bro?
Yo, shit. Trey, Marlo, walk on.
What's up with it?
What's your thoughts on Franklin fight? You thought he got robbed?
Yeah, I know you got to wake up early, so I ain't gonna bring up too many topics on this one. But Franklin, I don't feel he got robbed because it was a close one. I ain't gonna say he got robbed though. I don't feel like that. But he did put up just a much more competitive fight. I think that's where all this robbery stuff coming from, because this dude was just, expected to just get his ass blown out, which I expected too. But I can't say robbery.
Yeah, I gave a slight edge to White, man. But yeah, I can't say robbery either. Because like I said, I gave it a slight edge to White, but it was a close fight. Like I don't think it would have been a robbery either way. Because you know how it is, man. It be swing rounds and shit like that in the fight. One judge might have it 7-5 one way, the other judge got it 7-5 the other way. So I can't say that it's a robbery. If he would have got like a split decision or maybe a majority decision, I think that people would feel a little bit better about that. But he lost unanimous. So I think that got people a little bit salty. And plus the 116 to 112 threw people off a little bit. That might have been a little too wide, maybe. I had to like some 7-5 type shit.
Hey, he did better than that heckler that was T.O. put down. Huh? You seen that? MZ, salute, bro. You seen T.O. had got into it with this dude at CVS?
Terrell Owens?
Yeah.
No, I ain't seen that. He got into a fight.
Yeah.
He put hands on him.
Yeah, dropped him in there. Hey, dropped him in everything. Pieced his ass up.
Hey,
Humbled him quick.
somewhere in my area, I heard.
Hey, you seen the hype?
Yeah. I heard that was somewhere out here too.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I gotta go check that shit out.
He looked that shit up. Then he pieced him up. Some boxing type shit too. Jabbed him, 1-2'd him. That shit was crazy.
Hey, well, if
On
you
the
look at
ground.
his
Look,
frame,
sis. Huh?
what's up to my Amazon Angel? If you look at how Terrell Owens is built, though, he got a good frame for fighting. I remember when Chad Johnson did that exhibition in boxing, and I think he went out there and won the fight, if I ain't mistaken. But I just remember thinking, like, man, this dude ain't built like Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson short and compact. Uh, Chad Johnson had the long arms and shit like that. I thought that would have been good for him in boxing. And he went out there and won the fight. So I ain't even surprised to hear that T.O. went out there and put hands on somebody with them long ass arms. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker built like Jimmy Biffin.
Hey, it was crazy too because old boy squared up with him like he wanted to get in. Jab him. Caught him against the car. 1-2 him. 2-piece and put him down. I said, oh, T.O. put him on the put tips on the board. So the scientist said, I thought Jermaine Franklin did the better work. He was just too small to treble white. Man is too small for heavyweight. He's like a fat light heavyweight.
I don't know if he's too small. I mean, he might be like a Bridger weight type motherfucker or something. If he just got in some tremendous shape. I did see he had one fight a few years ago where he weighed in at 222, and that ain't nothing but Bridger weight. So I guess he could say he like a Bridger weight.
Yeah, he said too small and not powerful. Joseph Brown said Franklin didn't have an extra gear. He said that he needed in certain situations where White was fading.
And plus, he gave up that last round. I think he should have closed the show better. He let Dillian White have his best round in the last round, and if the ropes wasn't there, he would have got dropped in that fight because he got hit with that left hook. I think that's what it was, and got knocked back into the ropes and damn near fell. So it could have been worse for him. You know what I'm saying? The referee, with his discretion, he could have ruled that a knockdown, but he didn't. So he kind of got lucky in that regard.
Brown said, hey, fellas, Trey X, Bro, Marlo, Hyphy, Chat, and Maz. Blessings, sis.
Salute to OG Pecos Bill in the building. What's up with it?
Yes, sir. Look, bro. Joseph Brown said it was a majority decision. One judge had it to draw.
Oh, yeah, it was a majority decision because I hit on the Chan Ross on their bonus. I had Dillian White majority decision. My bad about that. Yeah, you're right.
And Joseph Brown also said they better leave TL alone. He said, nigga, stay in shape. Nigga beat Eagles. What he say? Niggas beat Eagles. The limit.
Lyman, I think is what he's saying.
Oh, D lineman. That's what he just got the D with it. He said Eagles D lineman when he was on our squad. Hugh Douglas. He talking about.
Yeah. I thought he was a middle linebacker or something. Yeah, he probably was on the defensive line, like a defensive end or something.
Yeah. Hey, you finna say something like?
Yeah, I just gonna make one more comment on that fight. I just think overall, like, Franklin, he getting a lot of credit just based on the fact it was a close fight, but like you looking at him, he just not a good fight either. It's just unfortunate he was fighting a Dillian White who wasn't too good either. It just wasn't a good fight to me. Like, none of them boys is nowhere near elite. You see, AJ was at the fight. He was probably there to, make the fight with White. After that shit, them niggas ain't trying to make that weak ass fight.
I ain't never thought Franklin was no terrible fighter. I always thought Franklin was decent. Like not like a number one heavyweight in America type shit, but I thought he was decent though, with decent skills. I think the way he fight like a smaller man. And that's what kind of gave me some concern for him going into this fight because he got a smaller man style, but he done gained weight. So I was just thinking, like, damn, can he still do his moves? Because he's 20 pounds heavier than what he was when he was at his best. You know what I'm saying? But I never thought that he was a terrible fighter. I thought that he was going to go over there and fight back and have at least a decent account of himself.
Hey, what y'all think about that Fury versus Chisora fight coming this weekend? That's on ESPN Plus too. That might be early in the morning.
And bro, I just feel like it's a unnecessary ass fight. Like I don't have no kind of excitement or none of that for this fight. These folks and I already fought twice, trilogy. Tyson Fury done won both of them. I mean, I expect him to go out there and possibly knock the motherfucker out. I mean, he like on a 3-fight knockout streak, maybe 4-fight knockout streak, something like that. I think 3 fights. So yeah, I mean, what's the purpose of this fight? What's the point of it?
Right. What is this? Just a stay busy fight or something?
The Christopher Journey, appreciate that super chat, bro. Say salute to the block fam. I am sitting in the gym in the 5th row, man. Definitely appreciate that, OG.
Appreciate you, man. What you about to say, Ike?
Like for me, this fight it feel like an exhibition fight. You know, like one of these damn celebrity fights almost. Like Dillian and Fury, they cool for one. And the first fight, yeah, it was competitive. The second fight was just a major blowout where he won every round. It was hella similar to Fury versus Dillian White. So it's like, what's the purpose of this third fight? And it's like they didn't become cool over the years. I just feel like this is more like it gave me an exhibition type fight feel.
Yeah, man. And then, like what you said, that's like what we see in boxing. Like the guy that's the more sophisticated fighter, when he come back in a rematch, they'll dominate. Like I would say Tyson Fury is a more sophisticated fighter than Deontay Wilder. We see what happened in the rematch. You get Sugar Ray Robinson back in the day. He come back in a rematch and do something bad to you, you know what I'm saying? He's the most sophisticated fighter. You just said the same thing with Tyson Fury and Chisora. I mean, we done seen that story a whole bunch of times, man. This dude is about to go out here and dominate Chisora. And like everybody pretty much know the outcome of the fight. I ain't seen nobody picking Chisora to win this fight. Nobody.
Joseph Brown said this Dale Boy retirement fight. Fury would KO him into the sunset. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't even see nobody even could be enthused about the fight. I mean, if it's a retirement fight or not, I think that Chisora ain't got nothing for fear. Probably just be a shit talking show, some form of entertainment for the Brits. I think this is a British card. The boys on this card too, ain't
That's one thing about them UK fans, though, man. You can go out there and get your ass whooped, and they'll still support you in these fights and shit like you undefeated. Like, you know what I'm saying? Domestically, they happy about the motherfucking fight. I was surprised that Dillian White got the type of support that he just got against Franklin after that performance against Tyson Fury. That performance he had against Tyson Fury is one of the worst performances in recent boxing history, in my opinion. The man came out as a southpaw and everything against Tyson Fury, Dillian White. Like, how fucking stupid is that, man? We talking about a man that only got 6 amateur fights, and he coming out here switching southpaw and shit. Some shit that I never see him do. Against his toughest opponent of his career, that's when he decided to come out and fight southpaw. Like, man, come on.
And I don't know what's up with Dillian as of late, but he do this thing, and this is very annoying. His lead foot it stay exactly straight. It's no type of turn inward turn to it at all. It's very straight. And now I see why his ass don't got no good coordination in there.
Man, I'm telling you, if you look at one way, like I could look at fighters' legs and I can tell if they American or not. That shit gonna sound crazy. But it seems like other fighters from different countries, they don't have the same type of knee flexion and shit that we have with the American fighters. So that ain't surprising at all. Cause I even would see that in the Cuban fighters like Rigondeaux and shit. Sometimes his legs look a little bit straight to me, especially when he started getting older. You know what I'm saying? But the American fighter, we got a lot better knee flexion. That's why sometimes you'll see a fighter like, let's say, Demetrius Andrade. He like what is he about 6'1"? I think he about 6'1". You will see him in there with a fighter that's like 5'10". I think that's what Leon Williams is. And the other fighter will look taller because Andre got that good ass knee flex. Joseph Brown said press conference would be the most entertaining thing leading up to the fight. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's gonna be the best part of the goddamn show. The press conference and probably even
Um,
post fight.
yeah, I
Shout out,
just don't know if Dillian White gonna bring that. Well, not Dillian White. I'm tripping. I'm gotta think about Jazora. Yeah, Jazora gonna bring that heat no matter what.
yeah.
Trey, how you feel about Zach Parker? Who this man is a orthodox southpaw fighter. He always fight like that. He broke his hand and decided that he couldn't continue.
Yeah, I was disappointed in Zach Parker. I just know one thing: when them fighters coming off them year layoffs, man, they janky shit just seems to happen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that can't account for his heart. I think he should have stayed in the fight because we done seen fighters have an injury and hold it down. Tank Davis, he hurt his hand against Pitbull, went out there and did his thing. Gary Russell Jr., he hurt his hand against who was that? Casemiro, not Casemiro, but Mas Gallo, and went out there and held it down. You know what I'm saying? So I was very disappointed, but just him coming off that long layoff and shit like that, man, I wasn't too surprised that something janky happened. I'm just disappointed. Like they talking about putting John Ryder in there with Canelo coming off a janky ass victory like this. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see how they gonna generate any kind of interest for that. Like John Ryder, I don't feel like he earned his way to be here. You know what I'm saying? But hey, congratulations to John Ryder. He went out there and got his hand raised. All the people that bet on him went out there and made a little change. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, hey, what are the couple of underdogs that won on this pass card?
You said the underdog.
Yeah.
It wasn't too many underdogs that won. I had picked one, Nathan Gorman. He went out there and got his ass knocked out in 3 rounds. Boy, I was so mad at myself about that pick, man, because I picked him because he's supposed to have a deep amateur background, right? But he only had 12 fights. This was a learning experience for me because that man won the ABAs. The motherfucker actually made it to the semifinals of the youth AIBA World Championships, but he did all of this shit within 12 fights. So people were saying like he's so much more experienced, and I was saying the same thing too. But he really ain't that much experience. We got one guy with 12 amateur fights, and the other guy had 4 amateur fights. That ain't that. Even though he had the accomplishments, it still didn't matter. And one thing that I learned about Nathan Gorman is that when he in there with a power puncher, he looked scared to me. Like when I saw him fight Daniel Dubois, he looked shook in there to me, like he was petrified. If you get in there and you put some power on Gorman, Gorman gonna want to move around. And he damn sure don't like that right hand over the top. That motherfucker one time kept talking about that shit. And I think that's what he got knocked out with, a right hand over the top. But I don't think it was a bunch of underdogs that won off the top of my head.
Well, I think I'm in favorites. Like, I think I could be tripping. I can't even think off my head. I have to go look. So, Shanti, salute, man. What's good, bro?
What
Salute.
up, man? Peace to the
Going
man. I
down.
hope everybody enjoyed their holidays and shit.
Yeah, my boy 41 Savage. That's his new name. 41 Savage. That motherfucker sound like 21 Savage when he talks to me.
I know
Okay.
this year was the first time I get to eat no turkey, man.
Why you eat no turkey?
Man, I work. I
Oh
ain't get
shit.
I ain't get into it around like almost 6 o'clock. And
Damn, man.
mom's moved away to Vegas and shit, so
Oh, okay.
I wasn't able. I ain't got it like I used to. You feel me?
It
You
was
gotta
a
start
bunch
hitting
of
up that Golden Corral.
Yeah, a lot of people went to Golden Corral. That's where you went.
No, no.
it was a bunch of change ups this year though. Folks was eating different dishes. Like Armin Brown said that she did a seafood boil for Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of people saying that they was doing something different than a traditional turkey and dressing type shit.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea. Bet you a
It's,
lot of people showed up for that one.
well, see, you know, like when Christmas and New Year's come, a lot of the time people cook the same shit. So I thought it was a good idea for a change up, even though my family had the traditional shit. Hopefully we can change up for Christmas or something.
For sure. Hey, who
What's your
y'all had winning that Ryder Parker fight when it got stopped?
I ain't gonna even lie, bro. I was full of that green because I was over there watching that other shit. Then I tried to go back and watch that shit afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't just 100% clear watching that shit.
Yeah.
It went like 4 rounds, right?
Yeah, it was 4 rounds.
Yeah, it seemed like I was dreaming watching that shit. Who you had winning?
Man, I like the work that not Parker, but Ryder was doing. I mean, I thought I don't know. It was pretty even by the time it was stopped, but I think before it was stopped, it looked like Ryder was starting to take over. That might have been because Parker had hurt his hand, but started to look like Ryder was getting accustomed to Parker's little his punch variation. Because Parker got real good punch variation. I ain't think his jab was as strong as I thought it was gonna be. So I thought Ryder was able to sneak his way inside and land them little sneaky punches he liked to land, and was kind of just wheeling his way. Like Ryder coming when he leap in on you, and Parker start backing up, but he'll still get hit. So I just thought Ryder was doing a good job of neutralizing Parker's size and height and reach advantage. So
That ain't no new shit with Ryder though. Since we
yeah,
just saw him with Callum Smith and Danny Jacobs and you know what I'm saying, shit like that. He seemed the type of guy that's like a spoiler.
yeah,
He be the underdog every time, and then he'll come and show something that people really wasn't expecting.
right.
Who the only person to stop that motherfucker?
I don't know the while back though.
Yeah, it was a while back. I can't even think of that shit. Joseph Brown said White is so unathletic and is so uncoordinated. They say Wilder throws wild punches. This dude kept throwing wild overhand rights that never came close to landing against Franklin. Yeah, he been doing that shit with that overhand right. To me, it feel like that's his signature punch, even though I don't never see him land the motherfucker.
That shit was stupid looking.
Yeah, like a half windmill type punch or something.
Yeah.
Joseph Brown said they need to run that fight back. It wasn't no clear-cut winner. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they ran it back. You know what I'm saying? I thought that Franklin showed enough to earn a rematch. But if they don't, I ain't mad either. Here, they can move on to some bigger and better things. I think that Franklin showed that he can compete against some of the top guys, though. Maybe not the very top guys, but like some of the mid-tier type dude, not like middle of the lower half of the top 15, top 10 type shit. I think he in there. It's not the cream of the crop.
gatekeeper type?
I don't know. I think he probably a little better than a gatekeeper, in my opinion. I mean, I got more respect for him than a lot of people, dog. I mean, he only had 40 amateur fights, 36-4, but he a national champion and a national silver medalist. And he beat some pretty decent guys. He beat Cam F. Awesome. Cam F. Awesome is one of our most, I can't say decorated, but he got like 400 fights or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He beat that motherfucker. And it was that Cassius Chaney. He beat Cassius Chaney too. You know what I'm saying? So I think he'll a decent fighter, just not superior.
D-Lo, salute, bro.
Salute, what's going down?
Let me grab something. Y'all be ready.
Yeah. What fights y'all looking forward to this weekend? I know you got you a female fight or something that you're looking forward to.
Shit, I gotta look at the schedule, fam. This this last weekend, just a shout out to Yo Costa Valle. Went in there and snagged that belt from Bermudez on that Prograis undercard.
Yeah, she got a bonus for me on the Channel Rolls. I had picked about majority decision, and she went out there and got that bonus for me. I had got 4 bonuses on the Channel Rolls. I got first place, but I was really lucky because I had some trash ass picks, but I got all them bonuses, and that should help the motherfucker. But if I would have just stayed down with a couple of my other picks, man, I would have ran off on the motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I had Nina Hughes over Jamie Mitchell, and then I changed the shit.
What made you change it, man? 7-time national champion.
Yeah, that's what it was, man. But then I went and looked at Mitchell, and I was like, well, she do got a nice little straight right hand. She got the mobility and stuff. I was looking at Nina Hughes, and she looked like like a style that Jamie Mitchell could handle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But really, a lot of like I make my best picks when I read about it instead of using the eye test. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you this, man. I don't like the way Jamie Mitchell fight though. Even though I picked her, I really don't like the way she fight. I think she a little too stiff in her back, and some of them punches be arm punches. I just don't like the way that shit look. Like if I look at her fight enough, it'll make me not interested in watching women's boxing.
Damn.
Real shit. I'm square business about that. When I look at her, I don't see what's the chick I said Marlon and spars and them type of skills and shit like that.
Denise
Carissa
Estrada.
shit.
Yeah.
No, not so. She kind of raw a little bit to me. She one of them beat your ass type of fighters, but not necessarily somebody that's silky, slick and smooth.
Oh, okay.
But she is a monster though.
Right.
She one of my favorites, man. That woman go out there and put some Tasmanian devil hands on your motherfucking ass. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Them punches be coming from everywhere. What they say in the chat, Joseph Brown said Estrada versus Chocolate Tito. Yeah, that's definitely one of the best fights coming up this weekend. I think I'm leaning toward Chocolate Tito in that fight. How did that shit go? What was it? The first fight went to Chocolate Tito, and a lot of people thought Estrada won. And then the second fight, Chocolate Tito won by split decision or some shit like that? Or was it Estrada that won by split decision?
Well, it was actually the first fight in 2014, Chocolate Latito. I already didn't hear many people saying Estrada won that fight. I haven't heard that. It was the second fight that was controversial, which Estrada got the decision.
Okay, the first one with Chocolate Tito by unanimous decision.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm leaning toward Chocolate Tito, man. When it comes to situations like this, I always like to ask myself, who is history most likely to remember? I remember like when Navarrete, when he fought against Joey Gonzalez and shit like that, I was thinking about that. But I think Chocolate Tito is the one that history is going to remember. I know that Estrada, he earned his respect, but when he first came on the scene, people didn't think he had no action against Chocolate Tito. You know what I'm saying? And he came and showed everybody that he a hell of a fighter. But I think Chocolate Tito is the one that history is going to favor the most. You know what I'm saying? I'm leaning towards him. Who y'all got in the fight?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Chocolatito myself.
I like how Chocolatito looked against that Julio Cesar. What's his name?
Martinez.
Yeah, I thought he went out there and did a hell of a job. And Martinez had a deep amateur background, 230 and 20. You know what I'm saying? What you think about that shit?
He fight this weekend too.
Yeah. I was asking Hyphy, who you think gonna win the fight?
Oh yeah, Chocolatito. I just think this is one of those matchups where Chocolatito just got his number. I mean, shit, we even seen it in the second fight, if you ask me and Duquesne. So yeah, I'm gonna roll with him on the third one.
Do y'all think both of these fighters are Hall of Famers?
I got Chocolatito. Like he slides into that ATG, if you ask me.
Yeah, what you think, Duquesne? You think you're Hall of Fame? Both of them or one of them?
I would say Chocolatito. I don't know about Estrada though.
What about you, Marlo? What you think?
Yeah, I say Chocolatito. Estrada potential, but I most definitely think Chocolatito. El Fenici, salute, bro. Rod X the champ in the building. Salute, bro.
Salute. Right, as the champ, El Fenici. Nigga, did you pay your bill yet, nigga? Mark ass, nigga. Look in the chat a little bit. D-Lo said she did catch her at one point, but that certainly wasn't enough. She did catch. Who you talking about? Oh, you talking about Jamie Mitchell caught Nina Hughes late in the fight.
Man, I couldn't find that fight nowhere. If anybody know where to watch that shit, man, send me a link.
Nigga, holla at L-Dub, man. L-Dub got all the links and shit, bro.
All right. Well,
you got Facebook?
Holla at you. Yeah.
Send that nigga friend request.
All right.
And then he'll hit you up on Messenger, be sending you all kind of shit, all kind of updates. I be in this motherfucker sleeping good, and I hear that boom. This motherfucker telling me he giving me an update in the fight or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of the motherfucker wiping cold out my eyes and shit. I can't do nothing but hit that nigga with a thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that shit. D-Lo said Cameron. Chantel Cameron is he talking about? D-Lo said, I think Estrada won the last one. Yeah, okay, that's the one. I had got it mixed up with the first one. D-Lo said Chocolatito had a controversial decision, was over Quadras, I believe. I just remember, no, I'm thinking about Sauron B-side when he knocked him out. But yeah, I forget, yeah, the motherfuckers had a war, didn't they? Didn't Quadras and Chocolatito go to war?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought they went to war. L say, yeah, salute to your brother. Rod as the champ. D-Lo said probably eventually for Estrada. Okay, Tommy, he might eventually be on some Hall of Fame type shit. L said, oh, damn, bro, I'm glad you reminded me. I got that. Yeah, nigga. I ain't heard Marlo say that he, you know what I'm saying, that you got him squared away, so I had to talk a little bit of shit. And we gonna hold that motherfucker Scumbo Baggins accountable, nigga. We gotta hold your ass accountable too, nigga. Pay your bill. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that motherfucker number one on the channel Raw. He been number one for a few weeks, Scumbo Baggins. I gotta give him his credit, man. I'm trying to come fetch him though.
Yeah, shout out to that motherfucker. He holding it down.
Yeah, the motherfucker holding it down, man.
Let me find out you cheating though.
Nah, he ain't cheating because I'm the one that's running his answers over there. He dropped that shit on the community thing, and then I'm the one that's running it over there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that motherfucker ain't cheating. He out there doing his thing. I'm trying to come fetch him though. I done cracked the top 10 now. You know what I'm saying? I'm number 6. I smell blood in the water too.
This week we got a lot of motherfuckers tired at night on this week card. I missed the whole week, man.
Yeah, I think J1 Pro or somebody like that was tied for 9th place or some shit.
Me, J1 Pro, I think I seen Roddy.
Yeah, Napoleon up in there somewhere too. Napoleon Armstrong, Mark A. That's my nigga though. L said it's all good. Give me the business I deserve. Yeah, nigga, pay your bill. Goddamn me. Well, we got a couple of decent fights, man. I want to get y'all opinion on that Josh Kelly fight, man. He got this fight coming up with this dude named Troy Williamson. Both of them got deep amateur backgrounds and shit. Josh Kelly, he a 4.5 on the pedigree scale because he is a AIBA World Championship bronze medalist. Plus, he an Olympian. He lost to Donnie Yellow-Usinov in the Olympics and shit. Won all kind of shit over there, you know what I'm saying? And Troy Williamson, if I'm not mistaken, I think he might have won at the Commonwealth Games, maybe. But I do know that he got a lot of like national type shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm over here trying to amend my pedigree scale a little bit too. I think I'm gonna change it to where a national champion in the United States is equal to a Commonwealth Games champion over there in Europe and the UK and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the process of trying to mend that shit. But this is a good ass fight, man. In my opinion, this is the fight of the weekend. Both. Go ahead.
Now go ahead.
Yeah, the motherfucker. Josh Kelly, you know, he like a try to be slick and smooth. He think he like a prime Roy Jones or something in there. Y'all know how he fight. And then that Troy Williamson guy, he more like a textbook type of guy, work off the jab and shit come to you. He can kind of punch a little bit too. I think I might have to lean toward this guy Williamson, man. Because I think I've seen enough evidence from Josh Kelly that he ain't the best in a dog fight. Like when he got into a dog fight with old boy that's fighting Crawford. And I also saw him fight a Cuban fighter a couple of years ago that was giving him good work. I'm talking about going to the body, brought a straight dog fight to that motherfucker. Josh Kelly got the decision, but it was people thinking that he got a robbery decision. I think I trust this guy Williamson more like in a dog fight type situation. He opened as a slight favorite in the fight, you know what I'm saying? -120 to -110. But what y'all think about that shit?
Man, I'm definitely gonna go with Troy Williamson because Troy Williamson, number one, he's the bigger guy. He started his career fighting at like 165, and so he kind of coming down in weight. I didn't even realize Josh Kelly had moved up to super welterweight, but you know they fighting at super welterweight. Josh Kelly spent most of his career at welterweight, but I mean, the thing that really make me want to go with Williamson is when I saw Josh Kelly fight Ray Robinson on that Katie Taylor versus Delphine Pursuit undercard in New York. And he up in there, you know, like you said, he think he Roy Jones and shit. And we got Ray Robinson slow ass in there catching him with stuff. I'm like, he in there trying to showboat and just getting punched in the face by this slow ass boxer. I mean, I think they scored that fight a draw, if I'm not mistaken, but he lost the fight, and everybody knew he lost the fight. So you got Troy Williamson in there, very fundamental. Well, I don't know if he's very fundamentally sound. I mean, he got a few little holes in his defense, but he's fundamentally sound, and he's the bigger guy. I think that's the type of shit you need to exploit somebody like Josh Kelly, who just be doing all that unnecessary Roy Jones wannabe shit for no reason and no purpose.
I like Troy Williamson jab too, man. I think he got a more consistent jab and he uses it more. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I mean, I just don't know if I'm a believer in the shoulder roll looking type shit that Josh Kelly got going. I don't even know how to even explain his stance, but I think I trust Troy Williamson a little bit better. What you think about that shit, bro? If you see, check them out.
Yeah, yeah, I like Williamson too. I think Kelly got a lot of holes, and one of them is against the ropes. I think Williamson gonna be able to take advantage of that shit because once he back up against the ropes, Kelly defense is not the sharpest, nor it is in the middle of the ring. So I think that definitely would be a key, and all that weird switching in the middle, combinations and shit like that Kelly be doing. I think he gonna be in trouble messing with Williamson. I'm locked in with y'all. I think Williamson will beat him. If not stopping him, I think it'll be unanimous. Of course, I'm pick majority though on Champ Raw.
And both fighters been active. Ain't no layoffs or nothing like that to consider. Only thing about Troy Williamson that I don't like is that he kind of squared up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I just think I trust him on the dog fight. What you think about this shit?
Yeah, same. Troy Williamson. I'm gonna go with him. Um, this is a rare fight because you usually don't get two Brits that have just say as good of amateur backgrounds as these two dudes got. Like even Troy Williamson, he represented Team London twice. So yeah, for that, I expect it to be more on like the upside as far as a good fight. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Williamson. I'm just not feeling these dudes that be doing all this switching shit in front of you right now.
Yeah. And plus we done seen like Williamson, he got one draw on his record, right? But that was in his first step up fight against Ted Cheeseman. I don't even think he had 10 fights yet or some shit like that. That was a pretty steep step up. Like if you look at who he was fighting before compared to Ted Cheeseman, you can kind of understand why a motherfucker might fight a draw. But Josh Kelly, I just can't find too many excuses for him. This man that went out there and got stopped. He went out there and fought a draw with Ray Robinson. People were thinking Ray Robinson won the fight. Then I told y'all about the damn Cuban that he fought. I don't remember the Cuban name. He had braids in his hair. And he gave Josh Kelly all he wanted, all he could absorb in that fight. So, yeah, I just don't trust the guy in this type of situation, man. I think this dude, like DeCane said, I think he might be too big, strong, physical, fundamentals, work the jab, got a pretty good work rate, especially early in the middle of the fight. He kind of slowed down a little bit towards the end. I saw him land a few counter punches too, land a few counter right hands and stuff like that. You can definitely tell that he got a background, you know what I'm saying? He got a little pedigree to him. So, yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to have to go ahead and lock in Troy Williamson on the board. I'm looking at chat a little bit. Rod, that's a chance that I missed picking 2 fights last week. All right, we're going to take that excuse. D-Lo said, I finally started getting back semi-serious on there. I'm no longer holding down last place. Yeah, man, you was tied up like 2 weeks ago or some shit like that. Salute to Eric R. What's going down? D-Lo said I went with Kelly, so y'all know what that means. Goddamn me. Moody Trayweather, what's up, bro? Say what's up to the corner. Salute. Eric R say question to the panel. I can't lie, Regis has really improved, but do you think he does his hold on. But do you think he does his feints and moves his head a little too excessively, or is it just me nitpicking? I don't think it's for me, fainting and head movement, I don't think you can be too excessive with it, like you're doing it too much. I do think that you can over exaggerate the shit though. Like with your head moving and shit, like if you slipping punches, you know you want to make a man miss by an inch instead of making him miss by a mile. Because if you make him miss by a mile, a motherfucker can feint you and get you out of position and fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't really get that impression when I looked at Regis Prograis in that fight. What y'all think? Y'all think Regis Prograis too excessive with the head moving and feints?
Nah, I seen and I know what he's talking about. See, Regis, his torso almost never stopped moving. That head also. So to me, that's a good thing because I'd rather have a fighter that move too much as long as it's not predictable. That's the thing about it. And with Regis is not predictable, so I'm totally fine with it.
Cool with it too. What about you, DeCane?
Yeah, I mean, I just see it as movement to throw his opponent off and to keep himself in the flow and not get too stagnant. I think Regis just like to be loose in there, so I think that's a good thing.
Last but not least, what you think about it, bro?
I was talking to L. L. This nigga hit text me. What you say? What fight y'all was talking about?
Eric Gar said he think that Prograis feints and head movement is a little bit too excessive. So he was asking the panel what we think about it.
I don't think it's excessive. I think the only thing that he's short. You know what I mean? I think he got to do that. I think that's his. I think that's what's to his style. You know what I mean? That's how he work his way in. That's how he work his way to the body. But I just think he be throwing unnecessary punches because a lot of the shit he be throwing be way off, be missing a lot. But other than that, that's the only thing I think about Regis. I think Regis is a tough motherfucker. He can take a punch. He can put punches together. He go to the body. I think the head movement is part of his game, of his style. But him throwing unnecessary punches, missing by a mile, I think that's a big problem. I think that's what gave Zepeda some room to score and take advantage of those type of moments.
Yeah, for a short guy, you do need the bob and weave, get on the inside. That's one reason why I took Dillian White over what's the dude that fight at Bridgerweight? He's the Bridgerweight champion right
Oscar
now.
Rivas.
Yeah, that's why I took him over Oscar Rivas, because Oscar Rivas ain't got their head moving. That's one reason why I thought Franklin would had a chance to perform better than Oscar Rivas, because he got a little bit of head movement to him. You know what I'm saying? Like he got a little rhythm to his style. He ain't just coming straight in. You know what I'm saying? With his back straight. Like I complain about that every single time we do a live stream. I don't like a man to keep his back all straight and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I hold against Anui. I know everybody love Anui, but I saw Anui go out there and get his ass out boxed in the amateurs by Yosvani Vaisha from Cuba. Went out there and put them straight boxing skills on. He beat him twice. I didn't see what beats this man. But I think he'll be a better fighter if he didn't have that stiff ass back and shit. You know what I'm saying? If he had a little bit of Regis Prograis in his style, I think he'll be a little bit better. So some other fights that we got coming up this weekend, we got that Daniel Dubois. He fighting against Kevin Lorena. That's gonna be like a pretty decent fight. I think Daniel Dubois probably go out there and knock his ass out. But Lorena, he seemed like he might be kind of tough. He ain't never been stopped nothing like that. But he a small guy though. He coming from cruiserweight. Well, not right now, but I'm just saying, like, he started off at cruiserweight. So I think that Daniel Dubois might be a little bit too strong for him. Have y'all checked out Kevin Lorena? He ain't got no amateur background either.
Now, I'm not too familiar with him, to be honest.
No, me neither.
We had to pick him on the Channel Ross and shit. I think last season. You know what I'm saying? He went out there and fought a guy. He actually beat a guy that had a decent amateur background. You know what I'm saying? I picked against him and had to eat crow on the Channel Ross. But he a cool little old fighter though. I think he like a little shorter southpaw. Got some pretty quick hands and shit. But I think Daniel the Bar probably be a little bit too much for him though. Hey y'all, give me a second. I'll be right back.
All right, bet. So y'all got any topics y'all want to jump into? We done ran through a little shit. Hey, you ain't never gave your take on Fury, so son, what you think about the Fury? You think Fury gonna put a whooping on Chisora, sitting to the sunset like Joe Brown said?
Nah, man, I got Chisora catching him with something, knocking him out in like the ninth round. I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, of course, when I got
I
yeah,
was over here like,
yeah, I got Fury, man. I think we all know Fury finna win that fight.
yeah, you think it's unnecessary also?
Hell yeah, man. Like that's what Fury do though. He take stupid fights. Like he don't never really, in between like his big fights, he always fighting some Tom Schwartz or, somebody we know he gonna beat. So
Hey, I got a question I want to ask you, man. Now I'm talking to you. What you think about the Crawford promotion, man? With the old boy, what's his name? Amarizi, what's his name?
yeah. I
And
don't
what you
know,
think
man.
about the promotion, man? I ain't seeing nothing. I ain't seeing nothing.
Yeah, I ain't seen nothing either. I mean, I know they got I think it's Cyborg boxing for the first time on the undercard, so maybe that's where all the promotion going. Like they think, the MMA community gon' carry it. I don't know. I
Yeah,
just ain't really seen much. Like we don't even know who on the undercard besides that.
yeah. No. Shout out to Lawrence Williams. He sent me after that last live stream. He sent me the undercard. Let me see.
Yeah,
I'll check it out. But like I said, I ain't seen no promotion on it though. Like Lawrence Williams promoting the motherfucker more than they is.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering, like, what's going on with this shit?
yeah, man. All I seen is like some little Twitter commercials and shit. I don't even know where them commercials playing other than Twitter.
Yeah, Cyber versus Holloway,
Yeah.
the Shy Health Center.
I mean,
That's
that'd be interesting. And like I said, I heard them about the fight, so
and this her debut.
yeah,
That's the only thing that's on here. It's a little card that he sent me. And Cyborg is the face of 12-10-22. Shy Health Center, Omaha, Nebraska. And then they got superstar Chris Cyborg makes her a U.S. debut in boxing on Crawford versus Japanese card in Omaha, Nebraska. That's the only thing the card say.
man.
What kind of promotion is this, man?
I don't know, man, cause it just seemed like ain't nobody gonna buy the fight, cause everybody mad. You know what I'm saying? That we ain't getting the Spence fight. So
But do you blame them though? I mean, okay, we ain't getting a Spence fight. That's cool. But who want to see Albanese or whatever his name is? You know what I'm saying?
right,
Who want to see that? He was just talking all the big talk about if he ain't fought Spence, he gonna move up to 54 and fight
Charlo.
Charlie.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And then off the blue, we get this and all this these Instagram, is it Instagram? Yeah, Instagram live conversations that he contradicting himself on. Man. Shit looking weird, man.
Then it's like don't nobody really want to see a Avanesian fight. So
Yeah, I don't think
yeah,
it's
man.
gonna do well, y'all. And it's gonna hurt him. And I hate to say it, I've been saying this shit for years. He already hurt with Bob Arum on the negotiation for Bob Arum not promoting, right? His pay-per-view numbers ain't up there. And he don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I ain't mad at no nigga with his ignorance, but I'm just tripping like, man, what the fuck going on? This basically with your own, you taking over your own career and you look like you going backwards. You know what I'm saying? Not forward. And then putting another motherfucker in that. It's just weird, man.
Hey, y'all,
right.
speaking of Charlo though, I got a funny feeling about this fight coming up for Charlo, man. I swear, like, let me ask y'all a question.
Who we
How
fight?
do
Sam
y'all
Zoo?
feel? Yeah. How do y'all feel? that Charlo has handled pressure overall so far. Like, because I remember Tony Harrison in a rematch, he brought pressure and he was having some success against Charlo, and also Castano in the first fight, he had a little bit of pressure against Charlo, bringing that pressure. You know what I'm saying? I know Tim Tszyu gonna bring some pressure. It seems like he got like some weird type of energy behind him. When I look at him, like, has there ever been a father and a son that was undisputed? I don't think so.
Not that I
So
know.
yeah, so he would be doing some historical type shit if he go out there and beat Charlo. And you know, like we done had some firsts here kind of fairly recently. Like we had the first, I think, Dominican Republican champion with them two fighters. What's the month at 140 and at 130? Hector Garcia, and what's the other one? Alberto Puello. We had the first Mexican world champion and Andy Ruiz. I think he was the first Mexican champion. I
Heavyweight.
won't be, yeah, first Mexican heavyweight champion. What I was trying to say. I won't be surprised if we see the first father and son undisputed,
Yeah.
because I just don't know how Charlo gonna handle this pressure. And this dude, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't think he a counter puncher. That's his best attribute. You know what I mean? But I don't think he really bad under pressure. I think he don't follow instructions well. Because I mean, I remember in the Castano fight, Derek James was giving him simple instructions what to do when he came forward, and he kept backing up and not doing what Derek James was telling him to do. But I mean, he made some great adjustments though. You know what I mean? In both fights, in the Harrison fight and the Castano fight. So
But
I
this,
mean, go ahead.
I ain't mean to interrupt, but I was gonna say the thing for me though against Tony Harrison, it was some people that had him losing that fight before he knocked him out. And there were also some people that felt like he lost to Castano in the first fight, and it shouldn't have been a draw. You know what I'm saying? So it seemed like that pressure was successful against him, at least partly successful. It wasn't all the way like he went out there and got stopped or something. But when people brought pressure to him, it seemed like they had some success with it.
Mm.
Yeah, true.
I'm kind of worried for Charlo a little bit, man. I hope he ain't overlooking this guy. I hope that he taking him seriously and he go out there and put his best foot forward, man. But I can't say that I'll be 100% surprised if Tim Tszyu won this fight. And the odds makers got the odds real close. Charlo is only a 2-1 favorite in this fight, so it seems like they got some type of respect for Tim Tszyu. And those kind of odds is where you see the upsets a lot of the time too. Jao Batai when he fought against Maurice Bradis. We had a fight with Thomas Matisse when he fought against Christian Tapia here recently. We had that rematch with Matteo Signani when he fought against that David Presto. Same type of odds. So I won't be surprised, man, if this dude go out here and win this fight. I know my man DeCane said he think it's gonna be easy work for Charlo. I mean, I hope it is, but man, I just got like a weird feeling about this fight.
Yeah, man. I can't co-sign you with that one because I just don't think Tim Tszyu got what it take, man, to beat no Charlo. I don't know. I just don't think he got what it take. He's stiff. He ain't gonna be able to handle Charlo, man.
Let me ask you this though: do you think Charlo is a master technician? Because
I would,
you feel like Crawford to beat him.
yeah, I don't think he no master technician at all, but I think he's a powerful puncher. I think he's definitely more athletic than your boy Tim Tszyu. And Tim Tszyu ain't gonna move his head enough, man. He might end up getting stopped by Charlo.
Man, I got a weird feeling about this fight though.
I think that's a high possibility. Yeah, his chin definitely, Tim Tszyu chin definitely gonna get tested. And that's gonna be the question. Can he uh, handle the heat that Charlo gonna bring?
See, I think speaking of Crawford, I think the way Crawford been fucking with Charlo, talking about he because he just recently said again on the Last Stand podcast, he ain't on the level of a Terrence Crawford or Earl Spence. You know, he ain't that bothers him and all this type of shit. And when he drew with Castano that first time, the way Terrence was talking about, see, that's why you not what did he say? That's why you're not on the pound for pound list and all that type of shit. I think he probably lit a fire under Charlo ass, man. Charlo ain't gonna give him no more ammo to talk shit, man.
Hopefully that motherfucker go out there and handle his business. And jump in the chat a little bit. Joseph Brown said uh Bud fans something think that this is a tougher fight than Spence fighting Thurman. Nah, hell nah. Hell no. That's one thing about that Spence and Thurman shit, man. I think that Spence is in a bad spot. Like people done got him in a position to where if he go out there and beat Keith Thurman, that ain't no accomplishment. Nigga, if you go out there and beat Keith Thurman in a fight, nigga, that shit should be celebrated. That shouldn't. That's the way I see it, man. The man is a former unified champion, 101-6 amateur motherfucker, fighting people like Demetrius Andrade in the amateurs. And we got Spence in the position that he's just supposed to go out here and beat this dude easy and all that kind of shit. Like, nah, man, I don't like the spot that Spence in with that shit. You know
I
what I'm
agree
saying?
with you on that. I agree with you, man. Cause like, but that's just how that's how I don't know, man. A lot of Spence fans, they think that man is Superman. He can go beat Canelo. He can do anything. Like, man, I'll oversell Spence a little bit, man. Like, I mean, Keith Thurman, the man went out there and had a great fight with Pacquiao. I know y'all say Pacquiao over the hill and whatnot, but man, Keith Thurman ain't nothing to sneeze at as no opponent. I mean, hell, I would watch the fight. I'm like I ain't the hugest Earl Spence fan, but I like the guy. I mean, I don't think that's no hoe ass fight. Like he's supposed to just go out there and run over a Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman got a high boxing IQ, man. That ain't no easy win. If you beat Keith Thurman, man, that's a good win. I don't care who you
I
Well,
think so too.
I'm a Spence fan. I don't be talking. I think that's a bad matchup for Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman don't like it to the body. Keith Thurman stay getting into have to get forced into dog fights where he don't like that. He like to lunge in and throw punches. He like to throw his punches from the outside. He don't like fighters that's gonna come in there and walk him down and corner him in. You know what I'm saying? And then that body work. That's the only thing. But respect to Thurman, he is a motherfucking what 2-time champion, ain't he?
Unified champion.
Unified champion. You know, those are the things that make it a respectable fight. This guy ain't no motherfucking slouch at all. You know what I mean? He did have to get up off his ass and make it a hell of a fight versus Pacquiao, even though he didn't succeed. But you know, that is it ain't just talking when you comparing the two. Avanesian, who is Avanesian? You know what I'm saying? He ain't no former champion, anything like that. He done been he done got losses to motherfuckers that Crawford already fought, right? If I ain't mistaken. But I'm just saying though that's just a bad spot for Crawford. I mean, I know as far as matchup wise, Spence in a bad spot because he gonna have to fight the motherfucker he don't want to fight. You know, regardless. I mean, I think he gonna go into this fight wanting to beat the fuck out of Thurman though. And they don't like each other. But I mean, he ain't. I don't think Smith really ain't in the tune-ups. You know what I mean? I think he really wanted to fight.
See, for me, oh my bad, I thought you were done. My fault.
No, I was just gonna say we're gonna see.
Yeah, see, for me, I wasn't even really speaking on the matchup. Like, we look at the matchup, I do think Earl Spencer got a good style for this guy because he work off the jab. Keith Thurman is not a real a person that work his jab a lot. As a matter of fact, he let Sean Porter out jab him by a 2-to-1 ratio. And we know he don't like the body shots and shit, and Earl gonna go to the body. But if Earl beat him, I think he deserved credit. Like in comparison, like let's say Ali fought Joe Louis. I think Ali got a style that'll fuck Joe Louis up, but it's still Joe Louis. So if Ali beat Joe Louis, he deserved credit, even though he got a matchup, like he got a style that'll give him credit. So when I'm looking at Earl Spence and Keith Thurman, like, okay, I like the matchup for Earl to go out there and beat him, but I think he deserves credit if he get the victory. And people don't put Earl in a position where he won't get credit if he go out there and beat the man.
Fact. I agree. Can we hear you say that on record though? I see you typed it in the comments. Say it on record, so say it with your chest.
What you say? I think Spence already got the best resume at 147, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, it be. I just want to say it do be motherfuckers on both sides talking out their ass. If the motherfucker wrong, the motherfucker wrong. That's why I ain't trying to put too much emphasis on the Crawford thing. I just was seeing what I was seeing and wanted to ask so scientist, because he a Crawford fan, what he thought about the promotion and what's going on.
Eric Ross said, I respect your boxing knowledge, Trey X, but the only guy with pressure I see being a problem for Charlo would be Fundora. I don't think Zoo is slick enough. What place you on the channel, Ross? You talking to number 6 on the channel, Ross, top 10, motherfucker. No, I'm just fucking with you. We'll definitely see, though, when they post a fight in January or something like that.
Who that?
Charlo and Zoo.
Oh shit. Yeah, supposed to be the end of January, I think.
We definitely will see. You know what I'm saying? I'm pulling for Charlo. Charlo is one of the fighters in the fight game that I respect the most. You know, he signed a contract to fight Andrade. He been fighting the best people like in the division. Anybody they put in front of him. Started early fighting against that motherfucker. What's that 143-7 amateur guy with the southpaw that he knocked out in the first round with the Lubin? Fought Lubin when both of them was young and undefeated. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of respect for Charlo. I hope he go out there and win, but just I sense a little bit of danger. You know what I'm saying? Hyphy say Charlo is fighting at his peak now that he's being trained by Joan Guzman. Okay. I didn't consider that. Hyphy say Charles Conwell's a good 154 contender, but he has to fight more often. I watched the fight that he had against Juan Carlos Abreu. Abreu was very tough, man. He done been in there with Bean Machine and
Oops.
Boots hauled him out though, but the thing is, he was coming off a year layoff when he fought against Jerron Ennis. You know what I'm saying? I wanted my little team. I wanted us to take the fight to go the distance, but I got cold feet. You know what I'm saying? Because he had this tough fights at 47, and this fight was at 154. But I was really a little disappointed in Conwell. I thought he should have worked off his jab more, and I thought he should have went to the body a lot more, especially with his stature. This man is at 154 and he ain't but like 5'9". How you gonna be a smaller fighter in the weight class and you ain't going to the body? And the times he did go to the body, he hurt the man. He hurt the man real bad going to the body. So yeah, so Charles Conwell, man, he need to tighten up, stay in the gym and sharpen up. Work your jab, go to the body.
Hey, so what Charlo Hyphy talking about? 54 or 60? 68 on me.
I think you talking about Jamel.
So he ain't with motherfucking
Derrick James.
James. Yeah, Derrick James.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Hell, he can't be talking about Jamal. That motherfucker ain't been fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I assumed he must be talking about Jamel.
He not switched up.
Or maybe they brought him in to like help, like a co-trainer or some shit. It seemed like I saw him mention that Joe Guzman shit a while back. Excuse me. Eric R said Spence beats Keith. He'll have the best resume at 147. He's a live dog in there. Okay, yeah, you think Keith a live dog? The King, okay, I read that. Joseph Brown said Thurman was one of the top fighters in this era of welterweight. Yeah, for sure. Motherfucker got some good athleticism. He come from Florida. In my opinion, the best athletes in the country come from Florida. You know what I'm saying? If you look at football, you look at Roy Jones and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? The guy got the amateur background, like I said, 101-6. Guy got a hell of a punch. You know what I'm saying? A little bit unorthodox in his style. Got good legs, like my boy DeCane like to say. He always talking about motherfucker got good legs where they can move around. Yeah, man, I think he a live dog. I think he gonna lose, but I think he a live enough dog that we need to give Earl Smith some credit if he go out there and beat him. Right, there's a chance that Thurman has only fought 3 times in 5 years. That's one of the main things that I hold against him too. Yeah, you're right about that. And since he done came back, he ain't just looked the most impressive against his opposition, like Riverside Rocky, Mario Barrios and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't just looked the best, but But you know how it is, man. Sometimes people fight down the competition and they'll raise their game when they in the real fights. You know what I'm saying? So I expect Keith Thurman to show up. I don't think he's just gonna go in there and just lay down. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see though. I already told my boy Gil Coles I called the fight if they fight. Eric Ross said he in the top 20 in this motherfucker. Goddamn me. I can't talk too much shit because I was just down there with you. I had to make a move on the motherfucker. Top 6. Hyphy said in Jamel's last fight, he was trained by Guzman for majority of the camp. He didn't arrive to Dallas until 2 weeks before the Castaño fight. John Guzman did majority of the coaching for Jamel. Okay, that sounds familiar. Like, I remember when you said that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up, though. You know, John Guzman had some slickness to him. Go out there and give some slickness to Jamel. I know one thing, if he hurts Zoo, I don't think he needs to hold back like he did against Castaño in the rematch. It was some times I saw him hurt Castaño and he kind of let him off the hook. If he hurt this man, I think he needs to go out there and get him. But one thing, though, that's also different in this matchup is that Tim Tszyu is significantly taller than Castaño. And when you like to go to the body, it's a little harder to go to the body when you got like a short man in front of you, like a Pitbull Cruz type motherfucker, something like that. Even like a Jack Catterall or something. It's kind of harder to go to the body when they shorter because you don't have as much surface area to hit on. Against Tim Tszyu, he gonna have a bigger surface area to hit on. So I think this would be a good fight for him to go to the body. Touch him with that jab and go to the body with the looping right hand the way he did against Tony Harrison in the rematch. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he could take a little half a step back because you know that this guy coming. Take a half a step back and walk the man into some shots. I think that'll be good for Charlo. And also work your jab and throw that straight right hand straight down the pike because that's what we saw Tim Tszyu get dropped with against that tough motherfucker. What's his name? The one that Tim Tszyu fought and got dropped early?
Gaucher?
Yeah, Terrell Gaucher. You know what I'm saying? He hit him with that right hand. I ate crow on that shit. Right as the champ said, he tied for 9th place. Yeah, I saw you up in there, man. You been holding it down. J1 Pro, he been up in there too. Shit, that shit kind of surprised me to see him ranked so highly. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we got a few decent fights this coming up weekend. Ammo Williams gonna be fighting this weekend. He fighting some guy named Simon Matson. I couldn't really find a background for him, but he undefeated though. He like 13-0 with 10 knockouts. So let's be on the lookout for Ammo Williams. And plus, Julio Cesar Martinez got a fight coming up with this guy last name Carmona. They got Martinez as a 30-1 favorite, but his opponent got an amateur background and shit coming out of Spain. I don't really like fucking with them fighters that come from Spain, France, Italy, and all that kind of shit. But I did see that this guy got a little background, so I don't think he should be a 30-1 underdog, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's a fairly interesting fight. So I'm looking forward to that shit.
Yeah, it's a women's unification match on Thursday. Kim Clavel is fighting Jessica Neri Plata. They super light, not super light, but light fly. So there's gonna be a little unification match, WBA and WBC.
What is that, like 108 or something?
Light fly 108. Yeah, it might be one. Yeah, it's 108.
Okay.
Hurricane Kilo, salute, fam. What's good?
Hey,
salute.
I had a question for y'all, man. Have y'all heard anything about Steven Espinoza saying that Errol Spence and Al need not try to fight Keith Thurman because they're gonna have to deal with some legal action from Stanionis because he already done took step aside money when Spence fought Ugas, right? So they saying that they might have to deal with some legal action because of Stanionis. And if he fights Stanionis, do y'all think that's a tougher fight than Keith Thurman?
Man, me personally, man, I think that Stanionis might beat Keith Thurman.
No, I'm saying, do you think he is a tougher fight for Spence?
I understand that, but I'm just saying, like in comparison, I think that he's I think he's a hell of a fighter, man. If he was to fight Keith Thurman right now, I think he'd beat him. You know what I'm saying? So, triangle theory. I think since he'll beat that motherfucker, I think he would be a tougher fighter. I mean, because look, this guy young, he in his prime. You know what I'm saying? His amateur background is 141-19. He an Olympian. I didn't already like what he did against Butayev was highly impressive, and he was a 5-1 underdog in that fight. I like how he was working off his jab when the man was in the orthodox stance, and then Butayev, when he switched to southpaw, Stanionis was seamlessly transitioning to a southpaw uh strategy, like lead right hands and shit like that. Like every time the man switched, this dude would just change it up just seamlessly. And I think that's because of the amateur background, of being an Olympian and shit like that. And the guy is hungry. He's very strong. Like I said, he's young in his prime. I think that guy would be a very tough fight, man. I think he would be a harder fight than Keith Thurman.
Yeah.
Right now. You know what I'm saying? Like Keith in his prime might be a little harder, but for right now, Keith at 34, I think Stanionis is hard.
Right. I would actually rather see that fight than the Keith Thurman fight. What you think, Marlo?
Yeah, I think Stanionis is a tougher fight than Keith Thurman. I think Stanionis young, got a lot of power, got decent skill. I think that's a tougher fight. Keith Thurman.
Yeah. It'll be an exciting fight too, man, with the way they both pressure each other. So
Oh man, that would be an awesome fight, man. Like stylistically, like you just said, they ain't gotta come looking for each other. Only thing is Earl can step back and box when he have to though. So I think that'll probably give him an advantage over Stanionis, you know what I'm saying? But just looking at Stanionis and Keith Thurman, like that motherfucker Lawrence Williams that said a few times, I didn't really think about it, but he talked about like the hotter fighter. Like that when that Hughes guy, I think that was his last name, when he had fought against can y'all hear me?
yeah.
Yeah.
When he had fought against that guy that fight like Kell Brook, he looked like Kell Brook a little bit too. The dude that got beat by Kiko Martinez, what's his name? I can't think of his name, man. But he was saying he was taking
Maxie Hughes.
Yeah, Maxie Hughes. Who he fight? Kid Galahad. He was saying that Maxie Hughes was a lot like the hotter fighter than Kid Galahad. So when I look at Stanionis, I think he's a little bit hotter than Keith Thurman right now. Like if he got the most significant victory, in my opinion, with the Butayev. Keith Thurman, he fight Mario Barrios, a blown up 140 pounder, and he also fought Riverside Rocky. That ain't nothing to move the needle. But Stanionis got a needle moving victory. So I think he's the hotter fighter. You know what I'm saying? Let me look.
What's good, D-Lo?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up with it?
Hey, that what you said, that's exactly some of the arguments I'm hearing people say when they talk about the dude Avanesian and Thurman. You know, like Thurman done fought twice and 3 times in 5 years.
Hold on, man. I hate to interrupt you, bro, but you sound a little bit muffled. That motherfucker just jumped off. Damn, I guess I shouldn't have interrupted the motherfucker. I was just trying. Hell, I was just trying to help. Eric R said, I like the kid Ammo. This is his second fight this year. Yeah, he had a fight with that Kieran Conway guy a few months ago. I had picked Ammo Williams by decision and went out there and cashed in on that shit. They had it like at plus 120 or some shit like that. So I had everybody take the decision. I like Conway. Conway pretty tough though, you know what I'm saying? But Ammo Williams, he ain't really got just the deepest amateur background. But he very effective the way he fight. You could tell that he look up to Earl Spence with his style. He come in behind the jab. He goes to the body from the southpaw stance. But I like the guy. What you were saying, D-Lo?
Hey, how I sound now, man?
A lot better.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. No, I was just saying, I think that's kind of the argument people try to make when they talk about Avanesian, the guy coming off 6 straight knockouts, whereas Keith Thurman ain't, really done anything as of late. But, to me, you still can't take away the accomplishments of, what Keith Thurman done. Keith Thurman's worst night, we saw him lose to Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a legendary fighter. On his next worst night, he won. You know what I'm saying? Because he never lost another fight as a pro. So, Keith Thurman can have a bad night and still win. I mean, and I think, if you look at Keith Thurman versus the field, there's only a handful of guys that most of us would give a legit shot at beating Keith Thurman. So to me, you just can't take away from that. You know what I'm saying? Errol is in a position where, being the champion with multiple sanctioning bodies, he got to fight, whoever they come up with. If is it some BS that Thurman ended up being the one getting pushed up to the top? I think so. I mean, Errol Spence's last mandatory was the WBC. That was Danny Garcia. So, you know what I'm saying, where he had to fight a guy who had already lost to a guy he had just beat. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, now he fighting a guy who, you know what I'm saying, really hadn't done anything to get back in the spot other than being owed a favor by the sanctioned body. But, that's not his fault. So, to me, I mean, he got to fight who they put in front of him. And, I mean, Keith Thurman, as far as name recognition and his ability, I mean, regardless of who else is out there, we've seen Keith Thurman do more than the rest of these guys at 147. So, you know what I'm saying? If you look at what they've done instead of just what they've done for me lately, that's still Keith Thurman. It's just a shame that, he let himself sit on the shelf as long as he has, and he's taken away from the luster of the fight, not Errol. So to me, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Errol just got to go out there and do his job. You know what I'm saying? If Keith Thurman done fell off like that, that's on him. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't knock Errol Spence at all. I just think it's some nonsense that he being forced to fight Keith Thurman when there's other guys that he would rather fight in a situation where, you know what I'm saying, the sanctioning bodies done some nonsense, and you got standing. I feel horrible standing honest, but, you know what I'm saying, it's just a situation where it's all about name cachet. To me, they looking at Keith Thurman as the bigger fight, so they'll rather make that fight, and that's kind of what happened, and they going by what moves the needle.
Who do you think would be a tougher fighter right now, Keith Thurman or Edmonton Stanionis?
I think Stanionis. I mean, yeah, I think Stanionis, man. I just think he's a younger, fresher fighter. I think he's, like you just got done saying, the hotter fighter. You know what I'm saying? I think confidence-wise, his confidence through the ceiling. When you look at, I mean, he served me crow, on the Butayev fight.
Yeah,
so
crow too.
I got respect for him. But now I will say, I think it was him and not Butayev who fought Delorme. If that was Stanionis, I wasn't impressed with him at all in that fight. But I felt like he redeemed himself since then. You know what I'm saying? Like if that was him, I might have been Butayev that fought.
No, it was Stanionis.
It was Stanionis. Okay, yeah. So in that fight, I didn't think he gave a good account of himself. I thought, you know what I'm saying, I thought he was allowing himself to be, get caught in a little like in a trick bag. He kind of seemed kind of out of his element a little bit at times in that fight. So that, to me, I kind of wondered about his ceiling. But he redeemed himself big time against Butayev. But I just think that right now the guy is, he's riding a wave, and I think it's a shame that he's, well, you know what, I'm not gonna say that, because he from what they're saying, he is getting a big fight. If I'm not mistaken, ain't he supposed to be fighting Virgil?
It seemed like I heard somebody mention that.
So if he's fighting Virgil, he's still in a bigger. It still will be his biggest fight to date. So he should be able to get up for it. So in a way, he's still capitalizing on his success off of the Butayev fight and all the maneuvering that they've been doing with him, moving him out of the way and stuff. It's like he's not being penalized that much, other than the fact that he ain't getting a title shot. But at the same time, it's kind of, if you look at the glass half full, or half empty versus half full, now he's fighting a very tough opponent who probably has a better shot at beating him than anybody else that he could be fighting right now. So for maybe Boots. It just depends on how you feel about Boots versus Virgil. But the downside of that is, if he go out here and lose, there goes his title shot.
Speaking of that, man, I felt so bad for damn, am I echoing?
A little bit.
Okay, yeah. Well, anyway, speaking of that, I felt bad for Stanionis, because I'm like, man, this dude stepped aside. He's supposed to be getting his title shot right now. But I was listening to the boxing voice, and they was talking about how when he step aside, he still get a spot on the undercard, so he get paid twice. He get paid for the fight, and he get paid for the step aside. So, I mean, I guess that's a win-win. But If you talking about legacy, man, I think that dude deserved his shot at the title. He already done stepped aside one time.
Well, if he get Virgil Ortiz, that is a legacy fight now. Hell, if they tell
Yeah.
me step aside and I get Virgil Ortiz, I think I might have to go and step aside.
But I think those guys will be a main event fight. I don't think they're gonna be on the undercard. You know what I'm saying?
But
Because
even
I just think,
still, oh my
right?
bad.
No, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think that's a good thing. You know, because when you're on the undercard, you kind of cap that how much money you're gonna make. If so now you stepped aside, you're gonna get paid for stepping aside more than likely. But now you're gonna get to be on the main event versus Virgil. They could put the fight in. Maybe it's in Texas and it does a good gate. So and it's a good opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like I like seeing the kind of I don't know age wise how old Stanionis is, but he's further along in terms of progression than Virgil, and to me, and now he's getting a chance to turn back somebody that's on his heels. So to me, I think it's a great opportunity for him, and I think he got action that to take your word, I think he got action that being Virgil.
I think he do too. I was just thinking about that shit because I know that Virgil did get caught by Mean Machine, and I could see Stan Jonas hitting him with one of them right hands like Mean Machine did. You know what I'm saying? But that would be a hell of a fight, man. I think that's like a bottom tier super fight. On the cool, I mean, both of them undefeated, deep amateur background. Both of them 141 and 19, 160 fights. The other one 140 and 20, 160 fights. They got the exact same number of amateur fights and shit, man. Deep amateur background, you know what I'm saying? And both of them come forward and throw a lot of punches and shit, man. I think that would be a hell of a fight to watch.
Yeah, the only thing that worried me about Virgil, and I'm not saying that's the only reason he would have a problem with standing on us, but one thing that worried me about him is it wasn't very long ago they were talking like the guy couldn't make the weight no more. When he had to pull out of that McKinson fight, and they was acting like he almost died and all this stuff, and it kind of was making it seem like he wasn't gonna be able to stay at 47. So I'm hoping that whatever that was an anomaly, and he's able to make the weight in a healthy manner and continue his campaign at 47 and kind of move up, at his own leisure, and then in a situation where, he's forced up because his body's betraying him.
I think he'd be okay because he did start at 140. You know what I'm saying? So I think he'd be okay.
Yeah, I mean that's why I was surprised, that he found himself in that situation. But I guess it's all about, I mean, you would know a lot more about it than me, but I guess it's all about if you don't cut weight the right way, you can find yourself in a bad way, and that seemed like that might have been what happened.
So when you said they say he almost died, are you exaggerating or they really said it?
Yeah, man. Maybe that's a slight exaggeration, but they said he was in the hospital and stuff, man. It says I can't remember what that was a medical term for what was going on with him. It was like it was almost like his body was trying to eat his muscle.
Oh,
yeah, yep.
Damn.
Yep, I can't remember the word that they used, but yep. That's another reason why I think he might be okay. If he done got past that shit, he should be able to lose the weight. I think he got a little bit better jab than Stan Jonas, man. That'll be a hell of a fight, man. That'll be an action fight right there.
Yeah, I had forgot how great a jab the kid got. I mean, he has a phenomenal jab. I actually, like I said, I didn't watch the McKinson fight, so I hadn't seen him since the Mean Machine fight. So I forgot how nice his jab was. He does have a nice jab.
And then look, they don't try to evade punches with footwork and try to slip punches for the most part. They try to block them hoes. So they gonna be able to just beat on each other. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be a hell of a fight, man. Both of them trying to punch through the other one guard and shit all night and go around the guard and come up the middle and shit. Yeah, I like that fight, man. Ms. Armin Brown said, please hit like the video if you haven't. Definitely would appreciate that. Judge Joe Brown said Stan Jonas work off the jab. Love how he fought that fight. Yeah, he fought a hell of a fight against Butayev. Then he said Stan Jonas can beat Virgil. I think he can too, man. I think he got action. I think that Virgil Ortiz should be the favorite, especially if they fight on the zone or some shit, because the close rounds gonna go to him. But I think that Stan Jonas is definitely a live dog. I bet they won't make him a 5-1 underdog like they did against Butayev. That motherfucker Virgil will probably be like a 2-1 favorite, 3-1 at the most. That's a hell of a fight, though. Yeah, it look like we might get a few of some good fights in boxing, man. It might not be the fights that we looking forward to, you know what I'm saying? But it'd be like some surprise good fights that might come on every now and then. If they was to fight, what network would they fight on?
I guess, being that it was a fight that was ordered, because he petitioned for it by the petitioned WBA, I would think that it'll probably go to purse bid, unless somebody just outright buys the fight. Stanionis is with what's his name? I think he was with Shelly Finkel. I think he with Shelly Finkel and what's his name? They used to be with Golden Boy. What's the guy? Schaefer, I believe. Some combination thereof, or one or the other, or something like that. So, I don't see them like blocking him from being able to go over there and get that fight. I mean, especially if it's ordered by the sanctioning body and they want to keep him in that position as mandatory. I mean, because if he turn the fight down, he's gonna lose that spot. So he really don't have a choice but wherever the fight can be made at, he gonna have to go, and vice versa for Virgil as well.
Man, I'm telling you, if Stan Jonas get that fight right there, man, that'll be another notch that he got over Ennis, in my opinion. I done had him ranked ahead of Ennis this whole time. Not off the skills and talent, just off of the competition that they done faced in the ring so far. You know what I'm saying? I got a little bit more respect for Stan Jonas' strength of schedule. So if he get the Virgil Ortiz fight, man, I think that'll be another notch in his belt.
Hey, I think that applies to Virgil and Stanionis. I think they both of them strength of schedule is ahead of Boots.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I had actually said that shit a while back that I respected Virgil strength of schedule more than Boots. I'm with you. Yeah, because he fought Antonio Orozco, he fought Maurice Hooker, he done fought Mean Machine. I got more respect for the blown up 140 over the blown up 140 pounders that Boots them fought, like Lipinets and 140 and 2 guy, Delorme, shit like that. What's my man from Canada name? 153 and Castillo Clayton and all that kind of shit. Even though I thought Clayton would go some rounds, he went out there and got destroyed. Hey, did y'all check out the fights on Sunday? The Mazim brothers, like Hassan and Adam Mazim or some shit like that.
No, I ain't see it.
Yeah, man, they got some prospects. I think they're in the UK. The main one that was in the main event, I think his name Adam Azim. He fought this dude, his last name Charlton. He hit that dude with the same type of punch that Ennis hit Delorme with. Like that kind of behind the ear. Matter of fact, the same thing he hit Castillo Clayton with. That looping right hand kind of behind the ear. That shit was pretty. Azim, that motherfucker gonna be a problem. He fight at 140. 140 is about to be the deepest division in boxing, especially when Devin Haney and a couple of them move up, man. That shit about to be like a war zone.
Man, I think that division already is one of the deepest divisions in boxing. It just the names, they just don't have the name recognition, name cachet ain't there, man. But when you look at that division top to bottom, and like if you look at through the rankings and all the sanctioning bodies, man, that's a solid, super solid division. It's definitely, to me, definitely deeper than 135. Even though 135 get all the shine, you know what I'm saying? I think it's deeper than 135. I think it may be deeper than 147. You know what I'm saying? Because 147 is a little top heavy.
Yeah, definitely deeper than 147. But I'm with you on that though, man, because I wasn't even thinking about Alberto Puello. What's the guy that beat Danielito Zorrillo in his last fight? The guy from California. They were talking about Teofimo Lopez was gonna fight him for a while, but they ain't fought yet. Arnold Barbosa Jr.
Barbosa, the one he didn't want to fight. You see, he when they said Barbosa, Tio was taking a dump all over his name. Talking about that he needs some real competition. He don't want to fight nobody like that. And I was like, man, that dude get to your ass.
Yeah, I have respect for that victory that he got over Zorrillo too. Zorrillo was a Pan American game champion and some other shit, and he went out there and beat the dude fairly convincingly. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's a whole bunch of talent at 140 right there.
Hey, man. You see, Tio came to 140 as a unified champion from 135, You know, even though he lost the title, but he was a former unified champion. He didn't go in there and just start fighting in the teeth of the division. You know what I'm saying? He strategic. You know, they easing him into it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The division was weak like that. He be in there fighting the top guys. You know what I'm saying? He ain't nowhere near fighting the top guys yet. I
Yep.
think you know, I think what's his name? Sander Martin.
Yeah, Martin.
Yeah, Martin. I think that's gonna be a good fight. I think it's actually a better fight than the fight he had scheduled. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, you know, no slight on old boy. It's just that at this stage, I just don't think you know, I just don't think he what he was. You know, by a long shot.
He gonna fight the dude that lost the Tank, right?
He was gonna fight Pedraza.
Yeah, Pedraza. I think Tank beat that motherfucker.
Yeah, and then they went to you know, of course he had to pull out because he got sick. Or I think that's the one they say he got sick. And then so they had to go to Sandor Martin, you know, which is gonna be a tricky fight in a way, you know what I'm saying? But you know, we'll see how it plays out. But my point is he wasn't just jumping in at one. He didn't go to 147 and just start, you know, fighting the who's who at 147.
Yeah. Let's look in the chat a little bit. And when that first fight he moved up, them punches don't look like they were landing quite the same as they were landing at 135. So we're gonna see about Teofimo Lopez's power if he got that takeover power up there. We're gonna see. Joseph Brown said Stanionis is Showtime. Okay. I thought he was PBC. Eric R said, how do y'all rate Lipinets at 140? Do we got action for Catterall, Regis Prograis, Gary Antoine Russell in the field? Man, hey, it's hard for me to get behind a man that only got about 30 amateur fights, bro. I think he might can get with like a Catterall, but I ain't taking him over Prograis, 87-7 motherfucker, ranked number 4 in the country. Gary Antoine Russell, what was he? 119-11, Olympian, beat Boost Ennis 3 out of 4 times in the amateurs. You know what I'm saying? Like he a cool little old fighter, man. Lipinets. He done been in there with some pretty tough guys. You know what I'm saying? Boost Ennis got destroyed, went out there and got outboxed by Mikey Garcia, but he did bring a tough fight to Mikey Garcia. One thing about Lipinets, though, I thought he was a better fighter when he had Buddy McGirt in the corner. I thought his head movement was better and he was working out the jab better. Ever since he done got away from Buddy McGirt, I think his style is a lot more simple. You know what I'm saying? So we were looking at him a few years ago. I would say, hey, man, he might go out there and give some tough fights to guys, but without Buddy McGirt, I don't believe in Lipinets. What y'all think? Y'all think Lipinets got something for them boys at 140?
I think he you know what I'm saying, for somebody who, you know, may not be the sharpest puncher, or, you know, somebody who ain't, you know, I put it like this. Like I'd say these guys that are on the way up, that are already showing that they're legit, like say Matias and guys like that. I think Lipinets will be just basically just a bump in the road for them guys to just go over. But then you got, you know, somebody like Tio. I think because he's new to the division and because he got some doubts because of the Cambosos fight and all that. Like if Tio was fighting Lipinets this upcoming weekend, I think that could be a tough fight for him. The only thing that would concern me in terms of Lipinets going into the fight is you know, what happened to him against Boots. Is there a lingering effect? You know, I don't know if he fought since then.
Yeah, he went out there and
That's
beat
right.
Figueroa.
He beat he filled in for Broner. That's right. So yeah, so he, you know, so going into that situation, you know what I'm saying, he got confidence again. He done shook off, you know what I'm saying, the defeat. And you know, I think that would be a tough fight for somebody like Tio, just because of, you know, Tio's a very like heady fighter in terms of like to me, the stuff that's going on, like he don't seem to be able to like block out everything and go in there and just fight. You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, with all of that going into the equation, and then him feeling like he's got this over inflated sense of self that he has to try to live up to, and I think he thinks about it in the ring. I think he struggled with a guy like Lipinets, but ultimately probably end up beating him. You know, like say 7 rounds to 5 or something like that. I wouldn't pick him to stop Lipinets. Cause
What about you?
I think Liberty is a tough dude, man. Which most of those former kickboxers are. Boots just overwhelmed.
What about you, Marlo? What you think? You think Lippin has got something for them boys at 140?
Nah, I thought if he would have stayed at 140, he'd just be a kind of test for like the young up and comings of the motherfuckers that's moving from 135. But nah, I don't think he got nothing, man. Gatekeeper status type. Uh,
What about you, DeCane? Yeah,
Well, depending on who we talking about, you know what I'm saying? I think some of them lower level guys, some of them guys moving up might have some trouble with it. But I mean, nobody at the top. But I mean, at 140, he ain't. I don't know. At 140, I think he's a decent little fighter.
yeah, that's where I'm at. Well, he's a decent little fighter, man. But if you put him in there with the top guys, I think he get his ass whooped. I got to disagree with my boy D-Lo a little bit because I think Teofimo Lopez will go out there and put hands and feet on that boy. You know what I'm saying? If it was a few years back, like I just said, if he had Buddy McGirt, I would be more inclined to agree with you. But not this version. I just think he's just too simple now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and I'm kind of thinking about him like when he was at 140. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even think I saw the no, I didn't see the Figueroa fight. So so all I got to go on is when I saw him at 40, and then of course the Clayton fight, which was at 47, and then the fight what's the name? I think did he fight he fought Lamont at 47 too,
Yeah.
but Lamont went into the fight talking retirement, so I
Yep.
don't that's always bad. So you know what I'm saying, but yeah. So I'm thinking about when he was at 140 because I hadn't seen him back at 140. So you're right, he had Buddy back then, and that
Yeah.
does make a big difference. I mean, he like you said, he don't look like the same fighter, even though it's been at 47. You know, and he ain't gonna all of a sudden just he in another weight class, go back down to a weight class, suddenly start back fighting like he was when he was with Buddy. He's still gonna be inside of whatever he how he been fighting. It's probably how he gonna fight.
Yeah, man. Whenever y'all ain't doing shit, y'all got some free time, go back and look at that Lipingas versus Mikey Garcia fight. And y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. He looked like a way better fighter in that fight with his head moving and working off his jab. You know what I'm saying?
Hey
Uh,
Trey, you know what's crazy though? To me, Liverpool looked better against Mikey than he did against the guy he won the belt against. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember the guy's name, but it was a guy. It kind of seemed like he was an Asian guy too, or I don't know. I don't want to just mess up the guy's ethnicity. But to me, Lippin is having all kind of problems with that dude. You know what I'm saying? I felt like he might have lightweight got a gift decision against the guy, but then again, Mikey, even though he lost, I felt like he looked better. You know what I'm saying? I think he was presenting problems to Mikey that I didn't expect him to present because of what I saw in him in the other fight. But he a far cry from that same fighter. Like you said, without Buddy, he just don't look like the same guy.
yeah, he very tough and shit like that. We give him props on that, but like they say, it levels. And I just don't trust a man with 30, 40 amateur fights that look like he declined since he lost his coach. So yeah. But hell, I really thought he was beating Mikey early in that fight though on the cool. Mikey got a late knockdown. I think he hit him with a left hook and dropped him. But he was definitely giving Mikey some good work. You know what I'm saying? Look in the chat, Joseph Brown said Lipinets should have never left 140. Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's his weight class. I guess he was just trying to go take advantage of an opportunity. You got a wounded animal at 147 with a foot in retirement and the other one on the banana peel. So he said, let me go ahead and help your ass retire. You know what I'm saying? Eric Hart said Teofimo might just be one of those fighters who better when living in chaos, like Fernando Vargas. I don't know about that, man. Teofimo Lopez do so much crying and complaining. I don't think he like when things ain't going perfectly, like when he got some turmoil. And plus, I just saw the way that Cambosis got under his skin and just had him all fucked up in the brain. I don't think he mentally strong enough to be living in chaos. That's just my opinion, man. Because the way Kambosos had that boy, he had him in his feelings. He went out there and fought a stupid ass fight against Kambosos and got beat. He went out there and let a B-level fighter talk him into a loss. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know about that, bro. Yeah, like you sound like you describing what's my Vida Loca back in the day. What's his name? Y'all know what I'm talking about. My Vida Loca.
Ricky Martin.
No, nigga, the fighter, brother. With all the tattoos and shit, the Mexican. He was tough as a motherfucker, but he always had some bullshit going on in his life.
I can't think of who you talking about.
Damn, if it was a Mexican in here, you'll know probably what I'm talking about. Yeah, there we go. Tapia. What's his first name?
Oh, the Tasmanian Devil?
Yeah, Johnny Tapia.
Johnny
Yeah.
Tapia. Hey,
There we
I'm
go.
sitting here. I got the picture in my head when you were saying, and I'm sitting here. What's this dude's name? And Tapia came to my mind, and I was like, Glenn Tapia. I said, no, it ain't him. And then I like, dang, it's Johnny Tapia. But yeah, I was sitting here thinking about I could not get it out my mouth.
Yeah, I wasn't nowhere close to it. We done had a few Tapias come through. Johnny Tapia, Glenn Tapia. Now we got Christian Tapia, the one that just lost to Thomas Matisse a couple of weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to get mixed up on that shit.
Well, I think that's also what they called that dude on the first Bad Boy movie. I think they called him Johnny Tapia too. So that would kind of made me think that Johnny wasn't the right name.
Yeah. Right, it's a chance that y'all calling any fights this weekend. Shit, I don't think it's nothing for us to call. Mainly just UK shit. That shit so early in the day. Marlo work on weekend. So we can't call no fights early on a Saturday. You know what I'm saying? It'd have to be some late night shit. Yeah, I see the Johnny Tapia. Joseph Brown said Johnny Tapia was one of the most entertaining fighters in the 90s. Absolutely. He was a warrior. He just always had some bullshit going on. That's why he called himself my Vida Loca. Eric R said, I want some trivia points for the answer too, goddamn me. All right, man, we might have to give this motherfucker Eric R a complimentary point for holding it down. You know what I'm saying? That is something that we're gonna put down. I'm trying to get it done this week. I've been trying to mix up the old school and the new school questions. I got some old school, but I got to get some more new school. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna try to have that shit maybe Thursday or something like that. Come through. Y'all make sure y'all go and check out MZ channel tomorrow. And don't forget, this motherfucker D-Lo is monetized now, y'all. I forgot to say that shit last time. The man is monetized. He been dropping videos. He been pretty consistent with the shit, man. So y'all go subscribe to D-Lo if you haven't. But go over there and show the man some support. You know what I'm saying? What'd you say?
I was just saying I appreciate it, man.
Already, he been dropping all kind of shit, talking about football, boxing off the top, but yeah, he been putting in some work. I gotta go catch up on a few videos. My motherfucking self now that I'm sitting up here thinking.
Yeah, I took a little break for the holidays. I ain't really put out nothing over the holidays. I was over Thanksgiving.
Yeah, if you notice, whenever I watch the videos, I try to start at the bottom and then work my way up. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to start with the older shit and then work my way to the new shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think I only got about 2 videos, maybe 3 videos to watch though.
Everybody saying congrats, D-Lo. Congrats.
Hey, I appreciate it, y'all. Appreciate it.
Yeah, boy, then went out there and got monetized. He didn't even say nothing either. That nigga quietly got monetized, but he up in there though. Y'all subscribe to Army Brown too, man. You see she come here and hold us down every week now. Get a moderator on. But she got 2 channels. That's her channel right there, the Army Brown. She also got a video game channel. You will frequently see me and Eric R sometime be in there. J1 Pro eventually be in there every single time she do a live stream. Shit, you know, folks slide through, man. Y'all give her some support too. She cool as a motherfucker. So what else we got this weekend that y'all looking forward to, man? I done pretty much named the fights that I'm looking forward to. Oh yeah, I forgot about that Brandon Glanton fight. He fighting this dude named David Light. That shit gonna be on Pro Box. Have y'all got a chance to check out Brandon Glanton yet?
No, not me.
He 17-0 fighter, 13 knockouts. He went out there and went to war with that Etafor Apochi a little while back. That was a hell of a fight too, man. That motherfucker was in the phone booth going toe to toe. Only thing about Brandon Glanton, I don't like his body. He got like a real muscular type of frame, and he like for you to be right there in front of him so y'all could fight in the phone booth and shit. And he be real squared up and all that kind of stuff. The David Light dude that he fighting, he actually got a little bit of amateur background to him. You know what I'm saying? He just don't look like a fucking cruiserweight or whatever the hell weight class they in. He look like he's significantly smaller than that to me. But he got a little bit of skill to him. He do keep his head up though. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like Zepeda when I was talking about that. But he got a little jab. He looped the right hand around the guard. He'll hit you in your temple and fuck you up. It ain't just a bunch of footage on him on YouTube, but from the little bit of footage that's available, you can see that he can fight a little bit. So I won't be surprised if he come in and fight back against Glanton. Glanton only got about 50 amateur fights. He like 46-4 or some shit like that. He is the home fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like his promoter is promoting the fight. So if it's some close rounds, they'll probably go to Glanton. But I do think that the guy David Light is gonna come and fight back. He undefeated. I think he like 19-0 with 12 knockouts or something like that. So he gonna come and fight. I think he gonna come and fight back. But the Glanton dude is a fighter that some people are getting excited about. But like I said, he got a high knockout percentage. He got a very aggressive style. It's an action-packed style. Like I said, he like to fight you in the phone booth. Yeah, they where you standing shoulder to shoulder, trading shots, going to the body and all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see what's gonna happen when people don't cooperate with him. Because that type of style, you need some cooperation. You need a man that's gonna stand in the phone booth with you. What's gonna happen when he gets somebody that's going out there boxing from a longer range? You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a chance that we might get the opportunity to see that this weekend. So y'all be on the lookout for that. That Pro Box TV shit is only $1.99 if per month if y'all want to subscribe to it. I don't know what they got going on. Every single time they take the money out of my account, I get a message saying there's some fraud alert or some shit going on my account. Are you available to check this shit out? Yes or no type shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's probably drawn on like an overseas bank or something like that. Cause I got a couple that I do that every time I manually make the payment myself. It ain't no automated thing. And every time I do it, I get an email asking did I authorize the payment, and I had to respond, or I changed it to where I get a text now because I wouldn't see the email and it was just sitting out there and they weren't paying these folks. But yeah, that's probably what it is, man, because it's probably drawn on some overseas bank somewhere.
Yeah, that shit happen every single month. I be forgetting about that. I even got it. I bought that shit a while back so I could look at that John Pascal fight when he went out there and got that robbery decision to help the Kane get second place in the fucking Chan Ross that season. He was fighting that he was fighting that Chinese dude. I can't Zali
Fong Man Long.
Fong Man Long. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went out there and they got that robbery. But I just been paying for it every month. I ain't even been watching it. You know what I'm saying? But Alma Brown, she dropped a link in her to her channel. Y'all subscribe to her channel, man. I really like. I be entertained by that shit. I'll be up in there for hours watching her play. She was playing Resident Evil last night. She be up in there scared, hollering and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's fun to watch her play though. She be kind of shook when she playing that shit by herself, but she got a guide and shit that be walking through everything. That make it run a lot smoother, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all subscribe to Alma Brown and show us some love one time. Eric Carr said for sure, AB channel, very entertaining. Joseph Brown said, what y'all think about Vargas' performance this weekend? Man, I ain't gonna even lie, man. Once I heard that the man was only 36-4 amateur, a lot of my excitement left because I thought that they had deeper amateur backgrounds in that. I ain't know that they were just working with 40 fights and shit like that. I didn't even watch the fight, as a matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, because I did see some of the other Vargas brother fight, where he got that knockout with the left hook. But I ain't watched this guy. I watched the beginning of it, but I ain't watched the whole fight though.
So
I got.
is it three of them? Is the one that fought 2 weekends ago, then two fought last weekend, right?
I done seen two of them fight. It might be three, but I done seen two of them so far.
Well, I thought two of his sons fought this past weekend, and I know one of them fought the other weekend on the undercard, got a big knockout. That was like 2 weeks ago.
I saw the one 2 weekends ago, and I saw the Fernando Vargas Jr. just a little bit at the beginning.
Yeah, I think it's Armando. I'll have to check it out. Maybe it is just two of them. I thought three on boxing. I might be wrong.
Yeah, well, man, I just y'all know me, man. It looked like the motherfucker might be like a 2 on the pedigree scale or some shit like that. So they're gonna have to prove something to me. And then they also the sons of legends. Well, not legends, but sons of a legend. And most of the time, them fighters don't work out and be shit. So they got an uphill climb. You know what I'm saying?
Joseph Brown said it's three of them. Two of them got knockout out. Ugly
Hey,
ugly cuz in the building.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah, that's right. Cause one of them got a decision this past weekend. I think he like 4-5-0 with two knockouts or something.
shit, that was big money. If you would have took that fight by decision, that was like 4-1 odds.
Really?
Hell yeah, that was like plus 400.
Damn.
Yeah, that was money right there. Ms. Armin Brown said she be shook playing that Resident Evil. Yeah, she don't even. You can tell when she really gets scared because she start doing this crazy ass run. Like she supposed to be running, but she start running backwards and shit. Like she be trying to duck and run at the same time. I be in the chat. I'm talking about heated. Run right. Goddamn me, stop doing that crazy looking shit and run right. But yeah, it'd be fun watching her play though.
Hey,
She,
I ain't really into the video game. I don't even really play sports games no more. Every once in a while, I might go in one of my kid room. They playing the game. I might grab the controller for a minute, just show them something. But I really don't be fooling with, you know what I'm saying, fooling with it. But I tell you, man, I be on Facebook and they doing videos of that game, God of War, and I'm sure they ain't all the same game. It's probably like different versions of it. But man, that be coming on, man. It be looking like watching a movie. I find myself just watching 20, 30-minute clips of it and I forgot all about what I was supposed to be doing. I thought about, man, I trying to see about playing it with find somebody that got it and play it, or see if my sons are downloaded or something just to try it. But I said, man, I don't. If I'm having that hard a time getting away from it, watching it, I don't need to start playing it. I really want to get that done. But that game looked like it really exciting. I don't know if she play that game or not, or if y'all ever seen it, but it looked like it's pretty. It's like a Greek mythology type thing or something.
yeah, the game that she be playing different stuff. My favorite is the Resident Evil. I used to play that shit back in the day, and they done remade the part 2 and part 3 for PS5. You know what I'm saying?
I used to play that too back in the day.
Yeah, that was my shit, man. I used to love playing that shit. So I be kind of living vicariously through them when they playing their video games, because I ain't got no PS5 or nothing like that. I told y'all I retired after PS2, because after PS2 I just got unbelievably trash. I had went and got an Xbox 360 and I ain't win one game. Like anytime I played somebody in Madden, I had the live. I think it was live '06 or some shit. I can't. It's been a while, but I was trashing all that shit. So I just gave up on the video games. I had took my my Xbox 360. I took that bitch to the pawn shop. I mean, fuck that game. Ugly cuz, what you got that clown up in there for? Talking about salute cuz, it's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a minute. Eric Carson panel. Why do you think that sons of fighters don't fight more amateur fights going forward like their fathers before them? That's a good point. Like thinking about Tim Zoo, I think his pops, what was his pops? Shit, was it 261 and 19? It was some shit like that. He was up there though. I don't think that's the exact record, but he definitely had a deep amateur background, Olympic gold medal and all that kind of shit. That's a good question, because it seemed like the sons of legends they should have the ability to remain amateur longer. They don't have the pressure on them to go get money like their father did, so they could change their life. They already growing up in mansions. They said Connor Ben had a hot tub in his room when he was growing up in a fucking mansion. You know what I'm saying? So it's really no excuse for them not to stay in the amateur ranks and get their skills together and get that experience. What the fuck are you in a rush for to go pro? That's a good question, bro. And now that I think about it, them motherfuckers really don't be having no deep amateur background, man. Can y'all think of a son of a legend that had a deep amateur background? Them niggas be fucking around, man. Nigga, if I was in that position, I'd stay in the amateur and go to the ARBAs. I'd be at the Olympics and all that shit. Because I ain't got no rush. But you know what? I read an article about a month ago that said they started paying boxers now for big amateur tournaments like the AIBA World Championships. So that might give a lot of fighters more incentive to stay amateur longer and get their shit together. You know what I'm saying? And the numbers that they were shooting out there, they were some pretty decent numbers for an amateur fight. I think I read like 20 grand or some shit if you win gold at the AIBAs. You know what I'm saying? So that might be an incentive for them.
I think part of it is that a lot of these guys, these sons of these great fighters, I don't think a lot of them intend to be boxers. I think it's like basically uh kind of they on the fence about it, and then they finally commit to it. After probably well after they done missed out on a lot of amateur opportunities, and then the other thing is like I wonder if okay if you live this kind of pampered or coddled or privileged lifestyle, do you really want to go through the grind and rigmarole of the amateur system and all that and go through all this stuff everybody else had to go through when you got a name that could get you straight to paydays, even if they ain't the biggest paydays? And, I think maybe that's part of the mentality is that, well, I got this name. I just go through the amateur, get me a couple fights to, become a, novice or so whatever, and then move on to, fighting a lower circuit boxing event, because I mean, look at it. These guys already on main, almost like Ali grandson. I mean, it's like the name alone is enough to get them the recognition to get on these main cards and stuff, even if they ain't the main event. Get on televised cards and things. So it's almost like they cut the line in a way, even though it's hurting them in terms of experience, but in terms of notoriety and getting out there and getting to the money faster, I think that's just the route some of them take.
I think that's a good point. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, bro. I thought you were about to say something. I think that's a good point. And plus, I think that the fathers probably don't be behind their sons being professional fighters early on. They might have the mentality like, I put myself through this, so you don't have to do this. Instead of being a professional fighter, I want you to be a lawyer. I want you to be a doctor or some shit like that. They probably cool with their kids going to the gym and learning boxing early on, but not necessarily being on the trajectory to be a professional. You know what I'm saying? So that they might not get that push that it seemed like they would get like early on. It seemed like they might come around to wanting to be a professional later on, and then they pops kind of relent and then get behind it. But it ain't like they getting that push like Roy Jones when he was young, the push that he got from his pops. You know what I'm saying? They probably ain't getting that type of push early on.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Roy, and we are, it's well chronicled, how his dad pushed him, and then look at none of his sons are boxers. You know what I'm saying? And you look at Floyd, none of his sons are boxers. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just, and it's kind of the same way with some of these other guys. It's just that at some point, some of these kids decide, well, I went to college, it didn't work out, or I tried to do this, I tried plumbing, I don't like it. Man, I can go fight and make, $1,200 a fight, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And they just try their head at it and want to see, how far the apple fall from the tree.
And they'll
I
probably
know.
get. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask. I don't know how many amateur fights he had, but I know he wasn't a really good boxer. No slight on him. I mean, but like Ronald Hearns, you know what I'm saying? I remember him, You know what I'm saying? He wasn't very good. You know what I'm saying? I wonder did he have a amateur background?
I ain't seen him, but Evan Holyfield, I think he might have had a little something. You know what I'm saying? Hector Camacho Jr., I think he had a little something.
Yeah, he did.
Uh,
He did.
you know what I'm saying? That's really like the only ones I can think of though, like that might have a deeper amateur background than average.
Champions first. Salute, fam.
That little Feezy, what's up, bro?
I know
Salute.
one little guy that needs to be put in the ring. He only like 2 years old. Floyd grandson. Y'all seen that nigga hitting the door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, they need to put that hurry up and put that little nigga. That nigga got power already.
His
Hey,
dad.
what about Corey Speaks?
Oh yeah.
Did he have a deep amateur background?
I think he did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one right there.
What you finna say about his pop?
His pops got a frame that's good for fighting. If you look at him like that skinny ass long arm frame that he got,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good frame for fight, man. So if he built like his pops and shit, he might have some with that boxing shit.
And he was hit that door, boy. Them sound, he was making the sound and everything. I think you know this little nigga hitting that motherfucker. Like, damn.
Yeah, I seen that shit. Ms. Almond Brown said, I don't play God of War, but I can get it. Yeah, she be over there playing all kind of shit, man. Like I said, she be on the Resident Evil. I said that was my favorite, but my favorite was probably when they used to play that shit with them imposters and shit. Among Us is the name of it. She be playing Fall Guys. She got some game they be playing where they cooking at a goddamn fast food restaurant or some shit now. They be playing Mortal Kombat, Red Dead Redemption or some shit like that. That look like a pretty cool game. Like realistic and shit. She be playing all kind of shit, man. So she'll play some God of War. Joseph Brown said, Tregs, I retired from playing games the same way. Pawned my Xbox at 30, it was a wrap. Damn me. Yeah, man, I was just trash. If I was good at it, I would have hung in there, you know what I'm saying? But I just didn't have nothing. And I just got tired of getting my ass whooped every time I played somebody. Eric R said, man, I used to snap on my son like we ain't pay $500 for you to be sitting here watching niggas play video games on YouTube. Then he come in like, what you watching, Pops? When I'll be watching AB play, yeah. Yeah, well, I used to like watching people play that Friday the 13th game on YouTube on the live stream. Almond Brown, she be playing that shit too. They be playing a little bit of everything, man. You know what I'm saying? They got a community over there. It's a cool community. They got a lot of women that be playing video games too, and they don't just play girly games. They go out there and play a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all show us some support, show us some love. Joseph Brown said the Vargas boys be sparring a lot of top fighters. Two of them sparred Tank. Yeah, I saw an interview. One of them said that he sparred Tank. You know, so I still would like them to have a deeper amateur background though. You know, sparring is cool. That's what I'm saying, that's all good. But I want you to have them fights because they said the same thing about Nathan Gorman. They said he was out there sparring all kind of motherfuckers, and look what he went out there and done. Went out there and fucked my money off too, man, because I had bet on the fight. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't bet that much though. I had already won on Tuesday. What fight was that we took on Tuesday? I know we took a fight to go the distance. Fuck, my mind and went blank, but I know we won on Tuesday and it was plus 135. Some people got it at plus 145. So I just took I took a quarter of the winnings that I had won from that fight and I put it on Nathan Gorman. It went out there and lost, but I still won for the weekend, so it's all good. I see my boy Lil Feezy. Joseph Brown said Eubank Sr. definitely never want Eubank Jr. to be a fighter. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of knowledge on that. I just saw when he was trying to protect that motherfucker from Conor Ben. They out there trying to weight drain the man, and they out there popping dirty. Boy, they tried to get that man strained up in that fight. He said, look at Joe Frazier's son. I was thinking about Marvin Frazier. He said, look at Shane Mosley's son. They weren't good. I give Shane Mosley Jr., I cut him a little slack, though. because he ain't had no deep amateur background, but in my opinion, he a son that you can be proud of if you're a real good fighter. I feel the same way about Chris Eubank Jr. Like if you Chris Eubank Sr., I think his son is a type of fighter that you can be proud of. Like, hey man, my son out there doing work. He ain't just elite, but he tough. He fight the best. He don't be getting knocked out or nothing like that. He done beat some pretty decent guys too along the way. Took some early challenges like against what's the white dude name that's slick in the Southpaw? Went out there and got his ass hit with that uppercut by Canelo. Billy Joe Saunders, shit like that early. I think he got a son that you can be proud of. And I kind of feel the same way about Shane Mosley Jr. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't got that background like his pops. His pops, what was like 248 and 14 and some shit somewhere off in there. And this guy, he learned on the job. You know what I'm saying? In his last fight, he went out there and got an upset. Hey, who did Shane Mosley Jr. upset in his last fight? Was that Gabe Rosado?
Yeah, I think it was Gabe. And
yeah, he beat Gabe.
The fight before that, he got robbed.
He got robbed. I was gonna say that. What was the name of that dude? The dude that fought Andre?
Jason Quigley, I think.
Yeah. I thought he should have beat him, and then he came back with something against Gabe Rosado. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to Shane Mosley Jr. I see Pecos Bill said tonight going by fast. Y'all keep it up. Appreciate you, OG. Eric R said I love the Among Us. Yeah, that was my shit too. Army Brown said back for blood, zombie army, all kind of shit, etc., etc. She said, yeah, laughing at the girly games. Eric R said, yeah, Shane Mosley Jr. earned my respect. Nigga was gunning for him earlier. Yeah, he earned some respect from me too. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what's crazy is if you look at Shane Mosley Jr., he seemed to still be getting better. You know what I'm saying? And he had a point in his career where a lot of fighters don't be improving at this point. You know what I'm saying? They kind of are what they are. I don't know if he had a trainer change recently or what, but he seemed to be improving every time I see him. Like he ain't out there making some of the same mistakes he was making. He ain't as predictable as he was. You know what I'm saying? It's like he added a little something to his game to make and maybe you know what I'm saying. He might have hit his high water mark now, but I mean, he actually seemed like he's getting better than me every time out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying he'll ever be elite, but he's improved.
Yeah, he done been around. I done seen videos where he off in different gyms and shit like that. Who did he start out with? Did he start out with the guy from Philly, Hassim, brother Hassim? I thought he was training.
Nazir, brother Nas.
Yeah. I think he was training the father and the son at one time. Because I remember him saying that Shane Mosley Sr. was Sugar Shane and the son was Spicy Shane or some shit like that because he said he can really punch and he was real strong. You know what I'm saying? But, he done got older and shit now, so the dude probably done had to move around and get some instruction.
That guy passed away.
Oh, I ain't even know that shit, man. R.I.P. the brother.
Yeah, he passed away like 2 or 3 years ago.
Was his last name Richardson?
Yeah, Nazim Richardson.
Yeah, salute to R.I.P. the brother Nazim Richardson. Eric R said, let's get Shane Mosley Jr. in there with Hami Mangia. Nah, we need Hami Mangia to get in there with somebody elite. God damn, is this man ever gonna fight somebody that's elite? I saw that he called out Golovkin after his last fight. So I guess they looking at Golovkin as some low-hanging fruit since he didn't, just look like a world beater against Canelo. And he older. We about 41 years old or something like that now. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's a step in the right direction. But I want to see Munguia in there with some top guys. We didn't see the Andre fight. We didn't see him fight none of them motherfuckers. So
yeah, him and Janabek both seem uninterested in fighting each other at this point. Because they said they were gonna order the fight, and hell, Munguia started talking about other people. Janabek talking about he don't want to fight Munguia because Munguia ain't got a belt. Like, dummy, you the champion. You gonna have to fight the mandatory. You know what I'm saying? Like he complained about the mandatory not having a belt. That's why he the mandatory.
And then plus he wanted the crown and jewels of Golden Boy. Like, why wouldn't he want to go knock out one of them crown and jewels they got over there?
Right. And then I don't know if y'all heard about it. He was going back and forth with Adamas too. You know what I'm saying? He basically told Adamas that he respect him as a fighter, but he ain't got nothing he want because he said he only want to fight champions. So since Charlo won't fight him, he can go fight Charlo. He get the belt, then he'll fight him. But they say I heard some people saying that Adamas been whooping on Janabek in the gym.
Yeah, I'm about to say that Southpaw, excuse me, that might be tough on him. I won't be surprised if Adamas beat him. You
Yeah,
know what
somebody
I'm
say they were down in Florida. I can't remember. I heard somewhere recently, man. They say they been sparring. They sparred a bunch of rounds, like 55 rounds or something, down in some gym in Florida. Said Adamas was owning him.
Y'all saw when Charlo called out Bivol?
Man, I saw Charlo talking to Bill. That wasn't no man, please.
I didn't even take that shit seriously,
I
man. That shit
still
like
don't take it serious. Like, man, hey man, he made a fool, made an ass out of himself, man. He
yeah,
Charlo
was,
strong, man.
yeah, he was saying stuff that like then man, he just making up shit. You know what I'm saying? Like talking about let's fight for undisputed at 168. I'm like, damn. You
yeah,
know,
How? Ain't neither one of them undisputed at 160.
yeah.
that's what I said. I actually gave him benefit of the doubt, and I said, well, maybe, just maybe, he thought Bivol took the belts off Canelo because Jamal been out of the loop, so maybe because like we hear all these jokers say they don't follow the sport, right? So maybe while he was not being heard from, and maybe he wasn't paying attention to boxing, and he just knew Canelo lost, and maybe he thought he lost the belts. That's the only thing I can think of. Maybe he thought the dude took the belts off Canelo when he beat him.
I
But
want to see. Oh my bad. Go ahead.
I was just saying. But almost everything he said that didn't make no sense, man. He made a fool out of himself, and he looked crazy. He looked crazy anyway, trying to get this guy to come down to 6'8", and he gonna go up to 6'8" to fight him when he couldn't go up to 6'8" and fight Benavidez when he called Benavidez out. You know what I'm saying? Like all that
That's a good
stupid.
point. That's a good point. And I just think just stick to your own weight class. Why are you calling out a 175 pounder, man? You know what I'm saying? It's fights in your own weight class that you can get. I really want to see him get a tune up and fight Adamas. Adamas said he won't him. I think Adamas fuck around and beat that motherfucker too,
Yeah,
just being
I do
real.
too. But I wouldn't. You know what though, man? I wouldn't care if he didn't fight Adamas and win it if he was gonna fight Triple G. You know what I'm saying? Because he fight Triple G and he could pick up those two belts. Then he only one belt away from being undisputed. Or we as a division, they only one fight away from undisputed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody gonna be, whether it be him or Janabek or however it gonna be, because I don't think Janabek and Triple G gonna fight because Janabek won't call him out. And, he say he want the champions, but he only named the one other champion. You know what I'm saying? But he say he want all the belts. So somehow he trying to roundabout, get Triple G to acknowledge that, or acknowledge the call out that he ain't really saying or whatever. Try to be respectful, I guess. But to me, I think that's the move for Charlo instead of chasing a pipe dream. You know what I'm saying? Try to go for undisputed. You claim you wanted Triple G for years anyway. There he go, right there holding the belts. Push for the fight. Make PBC, get him a decent bag. You know what I'm saying? Get those belts and then go after Janabek. Janabek can't duck him because all he keeps saying is he just want to fight champions. And he said Charlo ducking him. So I mean, to me, I think he in a good position if he can get his head together or whatever's going on. If he can get back on track. I mean, well, I ain't saying there's a foregone conclusion he beat these guys, but I mean, I think he in a good position, man. I mean, that'll be you talking about some first, man. If him and his brother could both be undisputed, man, that'll be huge.
That would be huge. And I always felt like he had a style to beat Golovkin too, because Golovkin is not a great counterpuncher. He the type of guy that like to shell up when you jump on him. It's best to be first against him. And if you got a good jab, that'll be in your favor too. And Jamal, he got a good jab and he can be first. And he got a nice right hand. I think he'll be able to catch Golovkin with something. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even be I can't say that. I was gonna say I won't be surprised if he the first man that stop him at this age, but I don't know, man. That motherfucker Golovkin can take a punch, man. But I do think he got a chance to go out there and have a good performance against Golovkin, though. Just styles make fights type shit.
I agree.
Marlo, we've been doing this shit. How long we been on, man? This shit say we started 2 hours ago. What you feeling like over there?
Yeah, I got to get up early in the morning.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up then. Let me finish the chat. Joseph Brown said McGee don't like title shots. Huh? That's what it looked like. Joseph Brown said Adonis was trying to get a title shot at the WBC convention. Adonis? What Adonis he talking about? Only one I'm thinking about.
He talking about Adonis.
Oh, Adonis. Okay, I got you. Eric Carr said Jamal was on that sauce and thought he was talking to Canelo. Yeah. Joseph Brown said Charlo really wanted Bivol autograph, but the cameras was around, so he had to make it a call out. I thought it was crazy that after he did that shit, he tried to make it seem like Bivol called him out at the end of that video. You know what I'm saying? He was like justifying that shit by saying Bivol called him out. Eric Carr said he ain't want to get caught with his pants down on camera like when Jacobs ran up on him. Yeah, that wasn't the best look right then. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like he kind of tightened up a little bit when Jacobs came through.
Hey, he ain't been the same since that day. Since when Jacob walked up on him,
yeah.
hey, he ain't been the same since.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say he was scared of Jacobs, but he did look like he kind of sat up straight a little bit when Jacobs came through. You know what I'm saying? Pecos Bill said, "Do Jamal still have the hunger?" Man, shit, bro. You remember when Jamal Hyde used to be, like when he knocked out J Rock and he jumped on the ring apron and shit, and he was all intense and shit, beating on his chest. I don't know if that guy's still around, to be honest with y'all. I mean, I got a little bit of respect for the guy. What was he? I know that Jamel was 56-8, and this guy here was 65-6. And he could have went to the Olympics, but he had a toe injury. So I got a little bit of respect for him. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't know if that same wild monster, wild animal motherfucker, I just don't know if that guy's still around. He look a little more civilized to me now. You know what I'm saying? He seems like he got a life that he enjoy. He got a nice family, a nice place to live, got some money. That might take the edge off a motherfucker. That's why you have some people that be creating conflicts in their mind so they can maintain that edge. I don't know if he that type of guy. And to me, it looked like he want to be liked. I really see that in both the Charlo brothers. Like at first, it seemed like they were like fuck everybody, but now they be jumping on lives and shit, and be smiling all in the camera and shit. Especially Jamal, he the one that be doing all this smiling and skinning and grinning and all that shit. I think the edge thing got taken off a little bit, in my opinion. Last topic before we go, what y'all think? Y'all think he's still hungry?
I think you said it a while back. I mean, it might have been a long time, maybe over a year or two ago. I think you said you think he lost that.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, what I think happened to Jamal is when he was calling out Triple G and all of that. Cause before that, he was talking all that crazy shit about Daniel Jacobs and shit. I'm a whole different type of cancer treatment. And everybody was like, oh man, that's that's the wrong thing to say or whatever. But when he was going at the Triple G, he was talking all types of shit. And then your boy Abel Sanchez, who was training Triple G at the time, came out and said, "We're not going to give him the fight. He's being disrespectful. He's disrespectful." So then after that, Jamal Charlo is like, he let that shit right there just take all the fight out of him. Like, oh man, if I'm being disrespectful, I can't get no fight. So he started being Mr. Nice Guy. Like, I don't know, man.
I
He
thought,
like,
my bad,
yeah.
bro.
I just feel like, man, if they say some shit like that, I just feel like you supposed to talk more shit after that, man. Like, y'all some hoes, man. Y'all ain't gonna like, if you can't stand somebody talking shit to you, then you ain't no real champion or whatever. Just go harder. But he just let that take everything out of him. Like, he stopped talking shit after Abel Sanchez said that. Like,
And
I
I was,
lost respect for that dude after that.
and I was gonna say, I thought Canelo like sealed the deal and had him talking nice. Yeah, both the Charlo brothers was talking nice about Canelo, saying that he the number one pound for pound fighter and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then it seemed like the cherry on top was the Benavidez situation. You know what I'm saying? Like you got somebody that's matching that energy and being aggressive towards you. He even called you a bitch. Mike Tyson had him call him a bitch, and he didn't really answer that bell. You know what I'm saying? So it seemed like that kind of just changed my perception of him. You know what I'm saying? What you think, Marlo? Do you think that Jamal Charlo is still hungry? He still got the in him?
Nah, I think them silk sheets changed the nigga, man. But nah, I don't. I don't think he lost that, man. I think he lost that a while ago.
I know that hurt Marlo to say that shit because he been a big supporter of the man. Whenever he had fought against that Montiel dude, I had went crazy in this motherfucker. I was probably a little too hard on him that night to be honest, you know what I'm saying? But Marlo done always tried to give this motherfucker the benefit of the doubt. So by him saying that shit, what he just said, that was really a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Let me finish up the chat. We're gonna go get our ghost smelling ass up out of here. Joseph Brown said that Charlo ain't here no more. Eric Ross said, nah, that Maul died years ago. Then he said, yeah, Jamel be causing conflicts with all his personality. Yeah, that's one thing I like about it. Joseph Brown said, Charlo be having me crying. Yeah. Hey, you want to go first, D-Lo?
Hey man, I appreciate y'all having me on, man. Peace to everybody in the chat, man. Catch y'all on this.
Y'all subscribe to D-Lo too, if you haven't, by the way. I know there's only 8 people up in here. But if you haven't subscribed to D-Lo, go subscribe to his channel. Like we said earlier, the man just got monetized. Y'all go over there and get man some support. What about you, DeCane?
Hey man, it's an honor to be on the panel with the resident amateur pedigree expert and all the
Yes.
other experts, man. I'm just a lowly nigga talking boxing on YouTube, so I appreciate y'all letting me be up here. Peace.
Don't let the nigga be too humble. He a 4.5 on the pedigree scale. He went out there and got him a second place finish in the Champ Ross. And y'all know that's how you earn my respect is through kicking ass and taking names. You know what I'm saying? So that's who DeCane is. Joseph Brown said Charlo low-key used to say crazy shit like James Toney used to other fighters. Best Tony shit talking was when he interrupted Eubank versus being interviewed. Ms. Armor Brown say blessing to the chat. Joseph Brown say peace. Yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, man. Definitely appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all subscribe to the Kane too on this channel because he said he gonna do some videos at some point. I don't know when, but he said he gonna put down some videos in the future. So y'all subscribe to that motherfucker. Appreciate all y'all coming through. I'm gonna try to come back with this trivia this week. Maybe like Thursday or something like that. Got some pretty decent fights this weekend, so y'all check out the fights. They're gonna be early in the day though, because they're gonna be across seas, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I don't know. I don't know when the fuck we gonna call a fight, man. Whenever we get one that's good and it's at a good time, we gonna call that motherfucker. I'm still kind of mad that I ain't get a chance to call that David Morrell fight, but hey, I had to go and hit up these sports books and shit in Louisiana and go to Alabama and all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go do my thing. Went out there and caught the fucking flu. I'm really just now feeling 100% right. I caught a badass flu down there, man. But I ain't gonna talk y'all to death, man. Salute to everybody. Much love to you.
Y'all already know, man. It's always love. Fun, man. Looking forward to chopping it up with y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through, D-Lo. So just to jumping on the panel. But y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Until next time, don't forget to tell them haters and trolls. The fuck out my gym.
You heard him.
Peace.
Yeah.